Today is June the 7th, 2025. Welcome to episode 609 of Mike of the Night, and I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night wherever you may be watching this transmission. Whether you're watching us from your condo in the sky or your camper or cabin in the woods, people of the night, welcome to Mike in the Night. It is episode 609. What are we at? Season 30? I don't even know what it's at. I don't even think we didn't even put that up. I think we're on season 32 now, or 31, episode 14 or something. I didn't put it on this episode, but I'll keep putting it as we go along. Sorry about that, guys. But season 31 or 32 of Mike in the Nights, I don't even know anymore. But I'll get this episode updated for you guys for the archives, so you guys know where we're at, how we're at, and how things are going. Because everything's moving so fast, it's very hard to keep your finger on the pulse anymore, where things are going. And yeah, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight, being part of the channel, liking and subscribing, and sharing this, because it's very important. We have a very small following here, very minute following. But mind you, when we do say a lot of things on here, it ends up echoing out to other platforms, pick it up. Other platforms do well with it. And we're just the little crumb guys, just talking and trying to connect dots and making sense of what's going on and how it's going on. Now, there's a lot of greed in social media. I've been noticing this incredible amount of greed in social media, and people aren't on social media anymore for the sake of just having fun, talking, looking at things, figuring things out. There was a guy, he has a channel about 3 years now, has about 500,000 subscribers, and he was complaining that he only makes $200,000 a year American, and he doesn't make enough money, and he's very upset. So if you guys think I get upset because I make $200 a year on social media, this guy makes $200,000 a year, and he's upset that it's not enough for him to live off. So he needed a computer, because his computer my computer's failing. My computer's done. Like, when this computer goes, I might disappear for a couple of years till I could afford to buy another one. But this guy needed a computer. He started a GoFundMe, and they ended up raising $130,000 for a computer. And then someone looked into it, saying, what, why? So somebody did look into it and found out a numbered company from Israel sent him a $50,000 donation for his new computer. So you see how this works, folks? I make my $200 a year, I make my peace, and that's it. I pay these crazy internet bills for the bandwidth and everything. That's fine. Fine. But you make $200,000 a year on social media, and it's not enough for you to live? You can't make this stuff up. But that is what's happening. Social media has been this big greed machine. All right, so we got everybody here showing up in the chat. Thanks, guys, for being here, guys. If you're listening, you're probably listening to this on replay. Don't forget to join us here on Odyssey for Mike in the Night, and don't forget to check us out here on Odyssey live. Okay, guys, let's go into a quick channel plug, and then we're gonna run off to we're gonna go off into headlines and into connecting the dots. Guys, if you want to buy me a coffee, guys, this is if you find any value in any of the shows we do or any of the work that we do, go ahead and pick me up a coffee if you don't mind. I'm going to pin this to the top. And kiwiradio.nz. Don't forget to check out Ralphie at kiwiradio.nz. And right here you'll find MP3 replays of Mike in the Night. 608 is up there. 606, 607, 608 in MP3 format for free. You guys can go over there and listen to Mike in the Night audio replays. Don't forget to tip Ralphie too, or support Ralphie, or send him some coffee change. And guys, here it is right here. Mike Martin's page if you want to follow me on Facebook. Something really bizarre happened My Mike in the Night page was actually deleted by Facebook. I had to go back in and reinstate the page and had to go through a lot of checking of boxes and stuff. But they said that the page was not in use or not being used, and I post links for Mike in the Night every Saturday there. So they're looking for ways to delete people's pages to get rid of them. So there it is right there, guys. And if you want to pick up past episodes of Mike in the Night, this is the number one question I get asked on a regular basis. Where do I find more episodes of Mike in the Night? You go to mikeinthenight.org. mikeinthenight.org, where you'll find episodes on Rumble here of Mike in the Night if you want to go back. And we have a lot of episodes of Mike in the Night that are surpassing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,000 views on replay. So the channel, the videos actually get a lot of channel. Okay, so we are on season 31, episode 12. Okay, guys, we're on season 31, episode 12, for anyone that's wondering. There it is right there. That's last week's show. And unfortunately, I didn't add it to this week's show. I'm sorry. And if you want to find me on Instagram, I'm there too. And that's what we use to open lines on Instagram, if you want to add me. And MikeMartinsTax.com. Mike Martins, MikeMartins, tax, TAX.com. If you're living in Canada and you're having tax issues, go ahead and go to MikeMartinsTax.com. And that's Kevin J. Johnston. He'll go over, fill out this basic questionnaire, and he'll go get back to you and try to help you with your financial tax issues. If you're living in Canada, he'll help you with your financial tax issues. It's MikeMartinsTax.com. All right, guys, it is Mike in the Night. Woo! It's 3 a.m. and something is moving you, ladies and gentlemen. All right, good. We got over 30 people watching tonight. All right. Okay, let's get into some important break-in headlines or whatever you want to call it, and go from there, because we got a lot to talk about here. All right, guys, let's head over to MAGA Civil War. Yeah, let's call it that. The MAGA Civil War. Trump says Elon Musk could face serious consequences if he backs Democratic candidates. Here's the problem. The Democrats hate him because he swung over and started to free Tommy Robinson all over the world and try to be the one to bring the sanity back. And so the Democrats don't like him already because he used Democratic funding for his projects and state funding and all kinds of funding, and became a Republican for the sake of trying to get famous or try to be this world leader or this humanitarian. Alex Jones loves this guy. Alex Jones loves Elon Musk. And so I don't think he has a pot to piss in when it comes into taking sides. And Elon Musk pulls back on threat to withdraw Dragon spacecraft. Guys, there is no Dragon spacecraft. There it is, right? Like, it's a spacecraft that's used to send supplies to some imaginary space station and some imaginary... none of this exists, guys. There's women that take selfies at a Boston Pizza bathroom with better quality of the bathroom of the Boston Pizza than whatever these things they're working on, all this blurred images and stuff. It's all BS. Dragon spacecraft. Bullshit. So he's promising or retracting on a threat that doesn't even exist. That's how crazy these people are. Space station. And they got all these wires hanging off the people. He's the only one that could get us into space. We need Elon Musk. Bullshit. It's all state funding that's going behind that and laundering money. What do you think NASA's been doing for the last 100 years? Just laundering money. And let's go open this here. How the U.S. became highly reliant on Elon Musk for access to space. Give me a break. Hire the scientists or hire the engineers because Elon Musk doesn't design any of this. Elon Musk doesn't do anything. He just hires people, and like Bill Gates when he made Microsoft. He just hires people to do this stuff. Oh my God. What? And Musk proposes new political party after break with Trump. It's not going to work. They tried it with the Tea Party in 2006, 7, 8, 9, and it got taken down. You can't create, they won't allow you to create a third party. Look up the Tea Party from 2004 to 2008 and see what happened. Allah, the Tea Party would have been good. It was the best on paper. I think it was Ron Paul was part of it. All these guys were getting together and saying, we're going to create a new party. We are sick and tired. And then Ron Paul became an independent, right? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But you see what happened. So he thinks he's going to create a party and he's going to win. The Democrats don't like him and the Republicans don't like him. So I don't know. So again, it's all noise and distraction. And Musk deletes X post accusing Trump of Epstein ties, deletes another calling for impeachment. And guys, look, I'm not taking sides here, but I want you to use your brain here. If Donald Trump did something with children or underage girls or whatever, you would have heard about it 9 years ago, 10 years ago. You would have heard about it 4 or 5 years ago. You would have heard about it last year. If the Democrats had something on Trump with that, it would have been released to the world. It would have been etched on the surface of the moon. So every time the moon comes out, you could remember that. So there it is right there. So it's, I don't know what the hell's going on with these people. Like especially Musk is losing his brain. And pro-China, pro-H1B, pro-EV, Musk was never MAGA. Again, saying that, you know, he was never part of this and he was just there as a Trojan horse or some sort of a spy. Yeah, so he basically shot himself in both feet in the situation he is in right now. And then, like, guys, if you want more information on what we told you what was going to... Here it is right here, folks. We told you Elon Musk was going to turn against Trump. And Elon Musk is one of them. He is a poser 5 months ago. Elon Musk will be more dangerous than Bill Gates. Musk will betray Trump 3 months ago. Musk versus MAGA 5 months ago. Elon Musk and Donald Trump will have a falling out. Hot war with Russia 6 months ago. Shut up already. Wake up. Anyone could have beaten Elon. Shut up already. Wake up. Anyone could have beaten Kamala Harris. And just all the stuff we've been warning you guys about. You can go ahead and find it on our YouTube channel. Whatever's still up about this whole Musk situation. But we did a good job warning you guys about this guy when he started going around the world telling everyone what to do and how to run their countries and who to free and who to back. Because we already knew here on Mike in the Night. I wonder what Alex Jones is going to do. Because Alex Jones has been praising this Elon Musk guy for like 2 years now. Praising him that he's going to be a humanitarian. He's going to save the world. He's working for world peace. Wow. Wow. All right, who do we got here? Oh, Dino Bravo's in the house. We got Nakia 42. Sandy's in the house. Earth Sign's in the house. Riptorn's in the house. Wayne Dest's in the house. Wait. Wayne Deet is in the house. Alberta Mancan. Oh. Paul Medina. PDS is here in the house. Yep, it's like watching wrestling. Heel versus face. Actually, we even did a whole heel versus face thing. Let's see if it comes up here. Here we go. Heel versus face. We've been calling on heel versus face for years. Joe Biden and Trump. Heel versus face. Justin Trudeau and Pierre Poilievre. Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Man, that was almost 2 years ago. Justin Trudeau versus Pierre Poilievre. Forced to hold government accountability. Heel versus face. Yeah. It's a gigantic show. Heel versus face. It's all wrestling, folks. It's all... Like the commenter said in the comments, it's all wrestling. They're all playing us. Elon Musk. And the amount of people that were like, getting mad at me, oh, you're a liberal libtard retard. And the reason why I'm saying this, you're probably going to go on my YouTube channel and say, Mike, your Elon Musk videos, how he's going to portray Donald Trump, don't even have 500 views. It's on Facebook where they have 400,000 views. Facebook is where I'm getting 800,000 views per month in 28 days. So people are calling me out on there big time. Go back to Elon's going to betray Donald Trump, a video I made like 6 months ago on Facebook. Go watch that video. Read the comments. People are just blowing me up. I think I should start putting my hand out. Okay, everyone owes me 50 cents. Everybody that put a very mean comment and called me delusional and retarded, everyone owes me 50 cents. I'd be set for life. All right, I want to get into this one. This is a pretty big, this is a very big accusation here coming out of Israel. This is very major, and it all ties in to what we've been saying. Netanyahu caught arming ISIS in Gaza for a false flag attack against Israel. So this is an accusation. This is a massive, explosive allegations have surfaced that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was involved in arming ISIS operatives in Gaza to orchestrate a false flag attack against Israel, according to a leaked intelligence document cited by anonymous sources. The claim suggests that a covert operation aimed at justifying escalated military actions, with mainstream media alleged suppressing the story. Obtained by a whistleblower within Israeli intelligence, I believe that. Detailed communications and logistic support provided to ISIS cells in Gaza. Wow. So this is a big, big, big deal, because it all ties in to why I got kicked off of X. Because I made a video called right here, tying what they were saying there. How Hamas got played. Was the attacks on Israel by chance or perfect timing? And this is very important, guys. I'm going to play a really short clip here from this. So this is this image that you see here with all the people protesting in Israel. This was in the downtown, I think it was that Tel Aviv, or one of the major cities there. I'm not sure which one, because every major city in Israel was having these protests every day for 38 weeks straight. Not my prime minister. Netanyahu is not my prime minister. So watch 2 days before the attack. Look at people saying, we don't want Netanyahu out. Weeks into this protest of Netanyahu, the prime minister, who basically selected himself into office, and it just doesn't stop. And it's going on and on and on and on. And it's a non-stop protest now, 39 weeks straight. There's the signage up there, Prime Minister. And he was supposed to be put in jail, folks. There was a plane that there was an eyewitness that was going to testify against him, who mysteriously died in a plane crash about a year ago. An eyewitness that was supposed to testify against Netanyahu, who mysteriously died in a plane crash and didn't make it. So Netanyahu is back, and nobody wants him. And this is what people were basically protesting back in 2019, and why they had to pull the trigger on the pandemic. Why? So they had these same attacks, these same protests here in 2019 before they pulled the trigger on the pandemic. This is 2 days before the attack of Israel, and how Hamas got played and how you got played. Because the whole world was like this. Panama was like this. Argentina was like this. Chile was like this. Peru was like this. Iran was like this. Haiti was like this. France was like this. Everywhere. China. Hong Kong was like this. What was it? Other countries in Europe. Everywhere. Brussels was protesting no confidence in government. And there it is right there. So I wanted to share that with you guys there, because it's very important that you guys understand what the situation is and how it's... That's why we never took sides in this. And you have all these social media influencers taking down all these videos now. The pro-Musk videos all coming down. The pro-Ukraine Ukraine, Russia bad videos, taken down. We don't take nothing down here. We don't take nothing down here, and we keep it as is because so you guys can see. It's don't take sides, evaluate, look at the situation, and make your decision. And more news from Israel. Israel prepares to seize Gaza. Freedom Flotilla arrests activists including Greta Thunberg. Again, it's all noise and distraction, folks. And when all else fails, grab Thunberg. Throw her in there. Get more noise, right? Get everyone confused. What's going on? Why is she going there? No one likes her. I love her. Everyone hates her. It's yeah, more noise. All right. Okay. One sec, folks. I had to reboot the computer. My computer's dying, guys. My computer's dying and it's not doing well. My computer's dying and it's not doing well. I need to buy one in the next couple of months, or I'm gonna be I'm gonna be in a bit of trouble. My only problem is, that the only problem is I'm having is it's kind of tough right now financially, and I have to go to the Philippines with the family, and it's not hard. It's not easy being cheesy, right? Okay, let me just sort this here for the next section here. Oh God. Sorry guys, I just had to reboot the computer, so everything's backwards here. All right. Okay, guys, we need to head over to Canada because Canada's in a lot of financial trouble. And Canada is a very special country when it comes to financial trouble because Canada sold out to the highest bidders. Canada sold out to foreign investors. I call them money launderers from China, parking money in real estate, creating artificial shortages, bidding wars on properties. 200,000 properties selling, $200,000 value properties selling for $4 million. And that's where Canada is. And people took a lot of mortgages at the top. We told you they're going to raise rates. Now people are paying double on their mortgage payments on $1 million house that they could buy in Alabama for 40 grand. So here we go, guys. Canadian unemployment soars, driven by immigration more than tariffs. They're always going to try to use tariffs, guys, in Canada to blame the situation. Canada's been tariffing its own people for so long, from the price of food, the price of natural gas, electricity. I get my gas bill. My gas is $40 and I have to pay $200 in fees. The Canadian proper is being tariffed to death. My $400 internet bill, I'm getting destroyed. Right? I live in Canada. We're getting destroyed here. And Canada's economy was dealt another blow last month, and it wasn't due to tariffs. StatsCan data shows unemployment rate climbed aggressively in May, hitting new multi-high despite the narrative of tariff-induced job losses. They're always, when all else fails, blame Trump. You just blame Donald Trump, right? The country managed to add a few thousand jobs. Rising unemployment continues to be driven by an aggressive immigration strategy, which added 4 workers for every job last month. Holy crap. And there is the Canadian unemployment population nears Canadian unemployment population nears 1.6 million people are now out of work, and it's climbing. Once we get back to 2020 levels, this is when they had to pull the trigger on the pandemic, right there. And if you see how that kind of you see why they pulled the trigger on a pandemic, there to go boom. And Canada didn't lose jobs last month. It gained a few thousand. And Canada's attempt to use immigration for cheap growth is backfiring. And there's a reason Canada's aggressive strategy hasn't been adopted elsewhere. Other successful countries can also just issue visas to grow its population by 2% a year, but they understand it's a questionable proposition, both to the existing population and the immigrants who move only to realize the booming economy was largely a facade. Healthy economic growth is based on a healthy balance of immigration and natural family formation, not just an attempt to rapidly expand the workforce. And it's not gonna fly. Canadian proper needs to have kids because the Canadian proper loves Canada. The Canadian proper believes in Canada. The Canadian proper will fight for Canada. You bring in foreigners, not immigrants, migrants to come in. They just destroy the country. They defecate on the beaches. They do not adapt to the Canadian way, right? And Canadian real estate buying opportunity still not there. It says Bank of Montreal. Again, there is housing needs. I brought this up to let you guys know housing needs to go down 60% right across the board. Once housing goes down, but Mike, you said 50% last month or 2 months ago. Why is it 60 or why is it a 60% correction now? Because everything got more expensive around you. Your food, your energy, your cost of living, your everything around you got more expensive, so housing needs to go down. Once 80% of what you make goes into your shelter, you can't buy food. And we've been fighting about this food thing for over 15 years here. Calculate your total debt service ratio and find out if you could afford to buy food. If they raise interest rates by 0.25%, find out if you're going to be homeless. Because that's what's happening here, folks. Erosion, and when this graph goes up, it's a seller's market, and it's not. We're trending towards a buyer's market. You see how the graphs are invertedly working against each other. So we're looking at here, it's an aggregation, because we don't have a normal real estate market here. And how the fear of fire is taking control of us. We're changing the climate in a way that favors fire. Again, I'm not even going to read that headline because it's garbage. I don't know if you guys remember Mike of the Night last year, that they're removing climate change from all the books and all the websites. They're not calling it climate change no more. It's not global warming anymore. But in Canada, it's still climate change. It's still here in Canada. But the rest, everywhere else, they're getting rid of it because they know it's garbage. It's a lie. So we are going into arson season in Canada because we never had fires like this. Oh, but the climate's changing. Bullshit. It's arson season in Canada. And they're going to be, oh, you don't believe in climate change? They start burning things down. And the people that have nothing to lose and don't have a house, they don't have nothing, and they're sleeping around in cars, are getting paid from these NGOs or these outfits to pay them to go and burn forests down and destroy the wildlife and kill innocent people. Because we're going into arson season. Because your government. Because remember back in the day, remember last year and the year before and the year before? I was calling it arson season. Oh, no, it's climate change, Mike. You don't know what you're talking about. No, it's arson season. And then they started catching people. 4 guys in the back of a police car being charged with arson, all let go. Get out of the car. You're not being charged for arson. But we burnt down 2,000 acres. Get out of here. You're not being charged. That's forming an opinion. And here we go. 2 people charged. 2 people charged with arson, accused of starting fires in Saskatchewan. Prince Albert RCMP investigate a 3rd arson attempt at a fire base. So while wildfires continue to rage in the province, Saskatchewan residents accused of deliberately setting separate fires have now been charged with arson. And they're going to be pushing. They're going to be pushing hard. You don't like Mark Carney? Huh? We're going to burn it all down. You're going to investigate that. You're going to go investigate that election and see the Chinese interference? We're going to burn you down. And that's how it works. And Bank of Canada. Bank of Canada's head says rate pause a result of shock-prone world. They can't lower rates, guys. They just can't do it. If anything, they got to raise rates now to 11.6% if they want to hedge against some inflation. So they got to really raise rates if they want to hedge against inflation and take off the bad debt. But They won't do it because too many people were competing with money launderers from China and got those first-time home buyer loans and paid $1,400,000 for a house you could buy in northern Florida for 70 grand. All right, who is here tonight, guys? Someone saying there's fires in northern Manitoba. Purposely burning everything only to say it looks like climate change. Yeah, Dallas, that's exactly what they're doing. Yeah. A big bullshit. It's a big bullshit. Sorry, guys. I'm just kind of if you hear awkward silences in the show once in a blue moon, is I'm reading your comments. I'm reading Instagram comments, people messaging me. I'm reading 30 things at a time and trying to still maintain a normal balanced show here for you guys. I'm a one-man army here. Dominators in the house. Evening, Mike. Great start. Always appreciated. Did you hear about the LA riots? What, in 93? Yeah, no, and it wasn't the 80s. Somebody saying, remember in the 80s when they preaching that the oceans were going to that was Al Gore. Yeah, they talked about an ice age coming, a global catastrophe, global heat catastrophe, and boiling oceans or freezing oceans or rising oceans. They've tried it all in the 80s, but it was Al Gore that was going around on his private jet telling everyone that Florida was going to be underwater by 2010. Right? Florida will be underwater by 2010 because Al Gore said so. Right? Because Al Gore said so. Yeah, an inconvenient truth. The Man Bear Pig, yeah. Man Bear Pig. Waffles for All is on the ball tonight. I love it when we got 10 people watching this live, but you know what? We got the best commenters right here. Don't you just know it? Okay, sorry guys, I got to reopen these pages because the computer went down. Got okay, out of the UK. This is old news, but let's hit it up again. UK governments declare citizens who oppose mass migration are extremists spreading terrorist ideology. So if you go against migrants coming into your country and destroying your way of life, your family, and raping your children, then, well, you are an extremist. You walk around with the flag of your country and sing your national anthem, they'll put you in jail. It was a guy with the Union Jack flag that was thrown in jail at some sort of a rally. And everyone had Palestine flags or whatnot, or Ukraine flags, and he was flying the Union Jack in the UK, and they put him in jail, right? And British citizens who dare question mass migration are now being considered to be terrorists, at least according to the UK government's anti-radicalization program. Prevent. It's called Prevent, and it's called cultural nationalism. We talked about cultural and this stuff in that journal we read from you guys about that was published in 2007. If you guys remember, we read those things out for you, all the years and how they were planning this. There's a video up. I gotta remember what it's called. The taking over of the West, or the white man, or the taking over of locals. We explain this strategy that they had in play and were discussing back in 2007. Official guidance published by ongov.uk places these views under the extreme right-wing terrorism, redefining political dissident as a security threat. So if you go against people that are going to come in and murder you and take over your culture and your way of life, you are a terrorist. Right here. You're an extremist. Sorry. You're an extremist, folks. Yeah. And Ukraine could soon launch an attack against Hungary, and some NATO countries may even support it, warns Hungarian security expert. Why? Money laundering. It's all money, man. Follow the money. Yes, I think they would dare to do so, and I can even imagine that several NATO member states would look on with gloating. Oh yeah, they want war, boys, ladies and gentlemen. Hungary is now on the target of the covert actions from Ukraine, and with a national election approaching within a year, Ukraine is increasingly portraying its neighbor as the enemy, as an enemy, warns Hungarian security expert Joseph Harvath. However, beyond covert operations, Ukraine may even begin to launch sabotage attacks or other direct actions against Hungary, a threat that has risen since Ukraine's successful attack on Russian strategic bomber fleet. So, guys, we're telling you now, it looks like Ukraine might start a war with Hungary. And again, it's all money laundering. Don't take sides, right? Because this is the axis of evil working here, right? If I was going to take a side, okay, I don't take sides, but if I was to take a side, I'll take Hungary's side, 100 billion%. Right? Ukraine is very corrupt. It was already corrupt. We were covering in 2015, 16, 17 on the channel already, telling you how Ukraine was blowing up buildings and blowing up its own infrastructure to hurt its own citizens, to blame Russia. And it's Ukrainian proper that's doing that to start a war with Russia so they could get a war in there. We had a guest on Mike in the Night in 2019 where she came on and she told us in Ukraine that the Ukrainians are doing it to themselves to point the finger at Russia. And this is a very important one here. FDA regulatory facade of drugs with no proof they worked, turning patients into unwitting guinea pigs. So the FDA has been, let's go into here real quick. So 73% of FDA-approved drugs from 2013 to 2022 failed to meet the agency for foundational standards for proving effectiveness. 55 drugs met only one standard, while 39 met none at all. Holy shit. Yet they remain on the market. Yeah. More than half of approvals relied on preliminary data with no proof of symptom relief, improved health, or extended life. Cancer drugs fared worst. Only 2.4 met all criteria, while 29 met none. So pharmaceutical lobbying and political pressure have systematically gutted the FDA oversight, prioritizing profits over patient safety. So they're selling garbage. Guys, your mind. It's in your mind. It's in your mind. It's the best way. So a lot of people that are taking this crap that doesn't even work are experiencing the placebo effect if they're feeling better. If they're feeling better from taking this junk that doesn't even prove to work, then it's the placebo. So it's always in your mind, folks. Focus on inside, right? Stress is one of the big causes of all this stuff. And U.S. job growth falters as federal cuts and tariffs weigh on May report. And it goes on to say the U.S. economy added 139,000 jobs in May, below most forecasts after the downward revision to prior months, trimmed 95,000. Federal government employment fell by 59,000 since January as Trump administration policies prioritize reduced bureaucracy. Manufacturing employment dropped 8,000 jobs, and rising wages outpaced inflation, but economic uncertainty kept unemployment at a steady 4.2% amid the shrinking labor force. Analysts warn of a slow growth ahead as trade policies and federal job cuts test the labor market's resilience. So that's that for that. Out of the United States, most of it's out of the United States of America, politics there, news. All right, who we got here? Carney wants to join the EU. Carney? I don't know if he knows this, but Canada was the EU for many years. The English, the Scottish, the Irish, that's the EU. And then the Italians, the Portuguese, the Dutch, the French. Oh, the French were early. Sorry, the Irish, the Dutch, the Scottish, the English were all here, right? And then it was the other European countries that came and worked in the infrastructure. We were predominantly a European country already. We were already the EU, right? Polish, Hungarian, everything. And then we bring in Pakistan. We bring in the best countries after. We saved the best for last. India, Pakistan, China. We brought in the best for last. That's what we did. Oh, Big Rob New Zealand said Canada was Europe and then Asia came. Right? Guys, it's really hot in this room. Oh, it's boiling in this room. Okay, guys. Something major is happening in the United States. Really, really major. So I want to make this very specific independent video on this. Trump's big, beautiful bill could ban states from regulating AI. Holy smokes, is this ever... This could be the Elon Musk distraction for what is happening in the right hand. You got Elon Musk distraction with Donald Trump on the left hand, but no one's seeing what the right hand is doing. And I'm seeing this right here. Big beautiful bill could ban states from regulating AI. Guys, this is absolutely major. The U.S. is moving closer to enact a sweeping federal measure that would strip individual states of the power to regulate artificial intelligence. Holy smokes. I don't know if you guys know how big this is. This is a really big deal, okay, guys? And I think this is happening because I'm thinking of the unfair decisions. I'm thinking of the surveillance and privacy risks. I'm thinking of no local protection. I'm thinking of no accountability when AI makes a mistake. This is dangerous, folks. And it is... Okay, think of it like this. Federal preemption of AI laws. Now, the bill is proposing 10-year ban on any state level with AI regulations, meaning only the federal government can regulate AI during that time. So it's got this 10-year clause thing. States would be blocked from enforcing current or future AI laws, right? And I strongly go against this, very strong, because it violates the state's rights and would allow unchecked AI development without local oversight. Every state is its own little country. Texas is a lone star. Massachusetts, Florida, they're their own little countries that are part of the union. But this would create this... I'm just trying to think of long-term risks here because this is very major and I'm trying to... I just see AI evolving way too fast, right? And for them doing this free pass for a decade type thing, it's very hard for states to roll in and protect their citizens here. Because if AI causes harm, let's say it does, right? From job loss, automation, unfair decisions, right? Hiring, policies, all kinds of stuff. Your state cannot pass a law to stop it. This is how big this is. right? And only the federal government could act, and that could take years. You guys know that higher up you go in the government chain or the government ladder, it takes forever to get a response or some sort of a repair or some sort of an upgrade or some sort of a yes or no answer, right? And this goes into the surveillance and privacy risks that I've been worrying about. Once I read this, I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Well, companies and or governments could use AI to track every movement and monitor what you say online, essay, or analyze your personal data without your consent. States wouldn't be able to pass privacy laws to limit the invasive AI surveillance. Look at this. This is major. The bill calls for the end to all state AI regulations and bans them from enforcing existing regulations. Do you know? Do you, like this jumps now into, okay, the whole unfair automated decisions, right? It could make these decisions like for bank loans, let's say welfare approvals, Section 8 stuff, right? Parole, job applications. This stuff could go deep, right? And if AI is incorrect or there's a problem, you can't go to your state. So me as a person, something's wrong with my parole. AI is telling me one thing, and wait, that's wrong. I can't go to my state for help. I have to go to the federal level. And you could be stuck in the federal system and they may not respond at all. You see where I'm going here? And the no accountability. Okay, we were saying that earlier. No accountability for AI mistakes. Okay, a self-driving car hurts somebody. And then an AI healthcare tool misdiagnoses a patient. Okay, well, but this and this and that. Well, I got a broken leg. No, you don't. You got a broken foot. No, my leg is broken. No, your foot's broken. Right? So you have less legal obligations to seek justice or some sort of compensation. So without interference from communities, this is so big. I just can't believe they're passing something like this in the United States. Like, you get one step forward and then you go 7 steps back. I just wish... Basically, in short, what this is, folks, what it is, it could remove your state's power to protect you, leaving corporations and federal agencies in total control of how AI impacts your daily life. Guys, this is so big. I had to put this one article aside because I think this is the right hand speaking here. You got the left hand with Donald Trump and Elon Musk and that big distraction. Everyone's looking at the left hand. This is what's happening on the right hand, folks. I may be wrong, but this is major. And AI is moving way too fast, folks. And it's scary. All right, guys. Let's see who's in the comments here. It's a beast system. Yeah, thank you, Lenny Poo. But this is not good. I don't know. I just wish I could tell you guys how dangerous this is. This is very dangerous. Very dangerous. Oh, okay. Everything's freezing up here, guys. I'm sorry. I gotta buy a new computer soon. I got $5,000, $5,008 in property tax I have to pay. in a house I own. It's getting hard. It's really, really getting hard, man, to live a basic life. Luna saying the federal government does not trump the state government. No, I understand the federal government doesn't trump the state government, but they're trying to work around with AI. That would be unconstitutional. Like, every state's a little country, right? But of course, they do all the time. The federal government literally has 2 jobs, and that's not one of them. Skynet's a real company. It's traded on the NYSE, I think. Seems to be coming true. I pray to God that it doesn't. Sorry, guys. It's really warm in here. Like it's getting really hot in here. All right, guys. Let's hang around Instagram for a little bit and all right. It's time to hang around Instagram and what's going on in the world today. All right, folks, let's hang around Instagram. Yeah. All right. Thousands of Christians take over central Paris to declare France is a Christian nation. This guy's got it all right here.
Yep. I am a white lesbian trapped in a black man's body. I'm 6 months pregnant and I love my husband, but the LGBTQ community won't accept me. And they tell me you could be what you want to be. I have gender.
So this guy found a loophole, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going here. And Jesus lovers taking over Europe. We love Jesus.
We love Jesus. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We love Jesus.
And 20,000 young Catholics walk the long-distance Chartres pilgrimage in France, proclaiming the nation's Catholic identity. Yeah, I think France is like 70 or 80% Catholic. I'm not too sure, but yeah. There it is right there. And this is Senhor São Cristo. Senhor São Cristo. This is from the Azores. That's where I'm from, the Azores. This is the yearly festival that we do, a feast. It looks like there's a number. Oh, they're just passing through. And there we go. The mayor of London is a Muslim. The mayor of Birmingham is a Muslim. And again, your countries become a Muslim state when the people that run it are Muslim. We already covered this a few weeks back. Just thought I'd let you guys know, and maybe a little bit of a wake-up call, that when you put in people in power, they're going to favor their own people for jobs and opportunities. And there it is right there. There's over 3,000 mosques in England, and England is a Christian country. A Christian country. So right now in Portugal, the festivities are going on now. So life's too short. Guys, if you're looking for a place to go on vacation, Portugal's the place. If you're looking to go to Europe, sorry. Portugal's the place, and Portugal is still one of the very few countries where they recommend women traveling alone to go to. If you're a woman and you want to travel alone, Portugal is one of the safer places to go to. And tens of thousands of Christians worship Jesus in the Netherlands. So there it is right there, folks. And look at the robot. Look at that robot and the Bostic dynamic robot down there. Look at the way he's walking. And look at the way the robot's walking. Look at that. Yep. And
every director of a department in Scotland, white. The Lord Justice Clerk, white. Every editor of a news organisation in Scotland, white. Every High Court judge.
Yeah, it's the UK. It's Scotland is white man's land. You go to India, it's brown man's land. You're going to expect to see people working in India in positions of editors and in governments and in banks. This guy's complaining that everyone in Scotland is white. Yeah, it's called white man's land, you idiot. It's white man's land for a reason. These guys are pathetic losers. And Irish woman interrupts Eid prayer at Croke Park in Dublin. Ireland would not submit to Islam. Again, guys, keep your religions in your countries. Adapt to the local and respect of the countries that are taking you in and feeding you and giving you taxpayers' dollars to survive. And India just witnessed a miracle, and that is the face of Jesus on a Eucharist. And the Vatican has already confirmed that it is a miracle, 100%. That wasn't drawn on, nor was it lasered on, nor was it tanned on, nor was it fried on, nor was it projected on. It is a picture of Jesus' face on a Eucharist, and now they have it in a church there, and it is being displayed for the world to see. They did test it, and it's definitely the real deal. And don't throw food at an old man's wife in Tim Hortons. So some guy went in there, started throwing food at some guy and trying to be tough in front of his girlfriends. Yeah. And some North African migrants were harassing a French girl on a bus, so a French man tackled them and threw them out.
Laisse-le. C'est bon? Tranquille? C'est bon? Tu es bon déjà? C'est bon? Détends. Toi, tu descends d'ici. Toi, tu descends d'ici. C'est bon? J'arrête de faire.
People will take their countries back. And Mexican citizens tear down this huge LGBTQI plus flag in Mexico City. And again, there shouldn't be a flag for a sexual preference. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you are. You know, nobody cares. It's just live your life and keep our children out of it. And so this is the mayor of Toronto. And guys, I wanted to bring up something. The reason why I brought this up is this Olivia Chow. There's leaked documents. There's apparently leaked documents through some RCMP whistleblower leaked documents that shows that CCP, Chinese Communist Party, spies were working with her to get her elected for the mayor of Toronto. And nobody voted for the. It's like that. What's that other one there? Michelle Wu or whatever her name is, from Boston. No one voted for these people. This is all selected to come in and destroy us. And meanwhile in Portugal. That guy's got a Templar cross on his shirt right there. See that? I got that flag in my store. And in Toronto, road rage incidents growing in Canada. Everyone is getting pissed off. Everyone everywhere is getting pissed off all the time. People are flying off the handle for nothing nowadays. I don't know what is going on, but I can tell you why. Because no one has money. Everyone's in debt. Everyone's pissed off. Everyone blames the other person for their problems. And Jesus people marching in the city of Rome. Because of Jesus, revolution is a love, revolution now. So it's a Jesus revolution all over the world. My food stamps went from $4,400 here.
$400 in food stamps every month to $38. What am I supposed to get with $38 with 6 kids? How the hell am I supposed to support my kids on $38 in food stamps? Not to mention our disability checks on hold. Our Section 8, my rent isn't getting paid tomorrow. So I have to come up with $1,100. Okay?
She's lucky she's in the States. $1,100 for rent. That's what people pay a week in Canada, $1,100 a week.
Had kids was the amount of government benefits that you get for one child. And now, with the dependent age being 7 and younger, none of my kids are dependents now. None of them, because they're all older than 7. So how am I supposed to live? How do I feed my kids on $38?
Easy, lady. Ask your husband. You got 6 kids. Obviously, someone made them with you. Go find them. Tell them to help out. Tell them to get a job. And Sweden during the 1960s. Look at that. Not a tattoo on a single woman there. Look, not a tattoo on a single person there. There it is. And some guy stole it. Look how quick this guy is. Look at quickness, man. We're going to go in there. He goes in there. Watch what he does. Boom. Boom. Takes a beer from the packaging. That's stealth brown. Or brown stealth. Or whatever you call it. That should... It is right there. And caught snapping off his ankle monitor at AutoZone. So he goes to AutoZone, gets a pair of channel locks or wire cutters or bolt cutters to cut off his... sit down, have a seat, let's get some tools. We're not going to buy the tools. We're just going to use the tools off the shelf to cut off your ankle bracelet. Man, you can't make this stuff up. You really can't. And look at this mount. Etna in Italy suddenly erupts. Look at those people running for their lives. Holy smokes. What else we got here? This is what they stole from you, ladies and gentlemen. Right there. This is community. Family. Structure. Opportunity. Unity. Love. Devotion. Prosperity. This is what they stole from you people. Pride. Heritage. Language. Sovereignty. This is what they stole from you, ladies and gentlemen. People just want to be left alone in their own countries. If they want to experience multiculturalism, go visit, go on vacation. That's what vacations were for. Proud. And now in Berlin, Germany. Again, protests, civil unrest. And let's move on here. Spanish patriots want mass deportations now. Too many European cities are unlivable due to fake asylum seekers, and Europeans have had enough. And what else we got here tonight? So, guys driving on bikes and doing wheelies and disallowing vehicles from using the roads. Giving people the forming an opinion. Giving someone the finger, that's forming an opinion. It's just so bizarre how people have no respect for each other anymore and just do what they feel like. And once again in Portugal. Yeah, this came up on my feed. I'm like, yeah, that's... Europeans are tolerant while other cities are infiltrated and destroyed by third world imports. Doesn't matter whether they are first or fifth generation. Time cannot change them or make them like us. So yeah, it could be 5, 10, 15 generations and they'll still have this mentality of just the way the culture is. It's the way some of these cultures are programmed, right? And activists steal Emmanuel Macron wax figure to protest. I don't even know how Emmanuel Macron is even in power. He went through 2 elections, 1 snap election, and 3 or 2.5 years of yellow vest protests. Not my president. So I don't even know how this guy's still in power. I don't even know why they even allow him to be there, even though he's elected in power. We told you Macron's going to stay forever. But it's just really weird how they just don't put another puppet in place because nobody likes this guy. And should we call it Canada or India? So this was after, I think, a Canucks hockey game. And there it is right there. And that's what's happening around Instagram, folks. Thanks for tuning in and listening to this little section of the show. Oh, yeah. All right. Woo. Okay, we covered everything here already. I went over some of the bigger headlines. More important one, that whole AI thing. I think we're going to be talking more and more about AI as it fast forwards into the future. As we fast forward into the future. We're moving, progressing, but at what cost? Oh, Paul sent me something here. Gunfire erupts as terrified supporters run for their lives. Colombian press candidate Irby shot in the head. Wow. Holy smokes. It's going to a Facebook page here. Give me a sec, folks. Oh, it's just an image. Supporters run. Is this breaking? It's probably breaking news. Colombian press candidate shot in the head. Guys, I don't mind. People are complaining I'm not covering enough news from Australia. The problem I'm having, if you're from Australia and you're watching this, I don't have a problem. I've been covering connecting the dots across the Commonwealth for years. Every time I go to an Australian from the Canada point of view of Canada to look at Australian news, I can open it right now. It's weight loss tactics, celebrity garbage. On the front page of one of the Australian papers about some woman that slept with 500 guys in one day. Like that's what I get. I would like to cover important news from Australia, mortgages, money laundering, the stuff we've been covering for years. But all I'm getting out of Australia is the same garbage. of just garbage. There's no news coming out of Australia. And then when I go on the Australian news websites to look for Australian news, I keep getting just ads, like crazy running ads, like holy crap. So if anybody is from Australia, we haven't had Gold Dust on the show in a long time, but if you could send me links to a good news outlet in Australia, just a link to the main page, and I'll scan it for articles. Because I don't know where to go for news in Australia. I really don't. Right? It's not good. Like they're hiding. So we got Mitch Madden saying, "Is this the beginning of Silver's big move?" Right? Well, I hope Linny Poo's got something for us. She wants to come on. Every time we get Linny Poo on the show, I said, "So what do you got for us tonight?" "I don't have anything." And then after she talks she tells us everything, right? So hopefully she has something for us tonight here on Mike in the Night. Okay, we'll do that. Let's you're tuned into Mike in the Night. You are tuned into Mike in the Night, the voice of the Commonwealth.
Hello. Oh,
Lenny, thanks
there
for
you go. Okay, so what am I going to do now?
coming on Mike in the Night here. Thanks for being here tonight. All right.
Yeah.
You always tell us you got nothing for us, but I'm gonna ask anyway. What do you got for us?
Well, the thing is, great intro, Mike. Yeah, your show, that was great. So it got me inspired. That's a lot of good news. There's a lot going on. Yep.
I think it's how it's presented that matters.
Uh, maybe. Plus you're funny, you know.
I don't really think I'm funny, but that I appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Oh my goodness, where to start? I don't know. So much going on.
It's like a you got this whole Elon Musk and Donald Trump falling out, which we predicted. And I like to say that because Linny Poo, all I have, like, I don't get paid to do this. I don't get nothing. I do this for bragging rights from time to time. And if we predicted something and it happened, hell yeah, I'm gonna say we predicted it, you know, because you know we're small. We're just a little community, and when we're right here on this show, we're right, and it sends waves out to all the big guys that have to take down all their videos about pro Elon Musk and Ukraine good, Russia bad, and taking down all these videos because they've been wrong all this time.
Well, I think what's interesting is that there's different people who have different perspectives, maybe on the same picture, but I mean, there's so much going on. It's such a big tangled web, and there's different parts. So different people just see different parts, and I listen. You have, interests, right? Which you're very interested in, the angles and boop shares, and then but everyone has different views, different what they see, and so it's good because together, when everyone's talking, then you get a bigger perspective, and it's very cool that way.
Understood, but I don't take down any of my videos, right? These people are taking down like years worth of "I love Elon Musk, he's going to save the world" humanitarian videos are being taken down as we speak, and the Russia bad, Ukraine good videos, pro-Israel video, everything's being taken down because they take sides and they don't see the big picture.
Yeah, I don't know. Do they take sides? I don't think
Everybody jumps on a bandwagon at first.
Oh, you mean people? Well, yeah, people take sides.
They always do.
Because that's the thing. You're never going to have, if you ever think there's ever going to come a day that, well, maybe, but if it does, it'll be on a spirit level. It's not going to be here in the world.
Right.
But if you think there's going to be a day where everyone's like, we like this guy. Oh, although the Antichrist is said to be that way. But for now, people like those puppets, like anyone, don't sit there and say that some president made a decision to do something. And that goes for Netanyahu. If you think that Netanyahu made a little idea and he told someone to do something, that's wrong. These guys are all front men. There are people above who make those decisions on war and pretend that there are sides. That's what they do. They invent that there's a side. And hey, pick a side.
Yep.
And there's two sides to every story. There's two. In any good war, there are two sides to any story. Both have their reasons, and they do. They're justified. They're validated. They are, because they're just caught in the middle. Fake stories about people, and let's hate this group or that group, like as if that's the enemy. No, that it isn't. But yeah, he's no better than Putin, Trump, any of them. All of them are there for that. That has become way more like very evident. Easy to fall into, hey, picking someone, because you know what? It's fun. So sometimes when I see what's going on with Trump reeling, I think, you know what? It's a good show. Like it is. It's hilarious. It is. It's funny. Ay. Those with these things, and there's twists and turns. Yeah,
it's a comedy.
It's so funny. It really is. It's twists and turns. It's obviously all whatever. They figure it out as they go along, and they do, because they're judging people all the time. They have their finger on the pulse. They do. They sure do. They have a plan and they have a finger on the pulse, and they watch. Oh, how do people react? What should we do next? Remember, like in the olden day, this is common knowledge, when movies were a big thing and they were blockbuster and people went to theater, it was big. Now it's everywhere. It's different. It's YouTube. It's whatever. The whole thing's changing. But remember in the movie day, they used to actually film different endings for blockbuster movies. And then they would play them in front of audience, judge their reaction, and then choose what ending they will do. Did you know that? Main characters may or may not die. Main heroes that everyone loves may or may not die, depending on that reaction. Remember those days? Did you know that? That's all part of this.
Lenny, I did not know that. I learned something new today.
What? Okay, look that up. That's a fact of the day. Sure is. Not even hidden. It's not hidden. They used to say that. They would have screening for that reason.
Well, let me add something to this, if that's okay. Do you remember Alfred Hitchcock?
Of course.
Alfred Hitchcock made a lot of great movies.
Yeah.
Very eerie, suspenseful, really to the bone movies. But you know how we made those movies? It's really bizarre how we wrote these scenes or wrote these stories out. He would actually write the music first, the eerie music, and then create a scene that fits that music.
That goes to show.
Yep.
That's a direct line, because music is first.
Yep. The eerie music, and then he would
Yeah.
think of a scene for that music. Oh, a wife is poisoning her husband's drink with this music playing, and this happens, and she ends up getting caught by the butler. So he makes the music first, and then he builds an entire story from the eeriness of the music in the movie.
Yeah, that's how you can tell, because most people who are creative, it's actually inspiration, right? In spirit, it's inspirited. That sounds like it comes from dark spirit, and they definitely use music. You could use for dark or light. But music is it's a thing, man. Vibration like that is a thing, big time. So that's wild that you say that. And it's meant to fear because, I'm not saying he's bad. I don't know anything about Alfred Hitchcock, but I know that anything that's very dark, and I used to watch those because I'm older than you guys, than you. So I have seen some things, and he used to do shorts as well. He did movies and he did shorts, and he had a show, and we used to watch it every week
I used to
at
watch the
night.
Alfred Hitchcock show. He'd make
Did
his
you?
introduction and says,
Yeah.
"We'll be back after this commercial break. Hold your breath." Do you remember that?
I don't remember the hold your breath.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. That's funny. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. So Elon and okay, so they're just putting a show with those two. Yeah, with Trump, as you know, and Elon. That's all a show.
Can you weigh in on this major one? This is a major one. I saw you in the comments when I was reading this one. This is really major. Is Trump's big beautiful bill could ban states from regulating AI. This is so dangerous. Maybe I
God.
paraphrased it wrong or maybe misread it and then came up with my conclusion and assumptions. Maybe I overdid it. But Lenny, I mean, I got this really, really bad feeling that this is going to lead to dangerous experiments, no accountability for AI mistakes, surveillance and privacy risks, and no local protection. Like, that's crazy. Imagine having to go to the federal level and not going to your city or your state level. That's crazy.
Everything you just said has been done for at least 40 years. Minimum. Everything you just said, it's already been going on. Okay, now it's brought to the public. Whatever. That's all going on. That's already there. It already exists. It already is. Everything
no,
you
no,
just
they're
said
gonna take it
already is.
but they're gonna
They
remove.
already have all our info. It
Well, no,
already
they're
is
hacking.
uploaded.
No, Lenny, what's happening is they're
We already
hacking
don't know. There's
the
already
state level.
nothing we can do.
No, I'm saying they're removing the level of the state level, and
Okay.
yeah, so they're trying to
It's
federalize.
been done without them. The state doesn't know. The state's like, what? What? Huh? Yeah, that's already bypassed long ago. Now they're putting in writing or whatever. Now we see.
Oh, thanks for the coffee, by the way. I see you sent me a coffee, and I got another coffee here from who's this from? 30345 30345 in the comments. Thanks for the coffee too. Thanks Lenny Poo for the coffee tonight here on Mike of the Night.
Yeah, Mike, I'm just saying, I know what you're saying is scary. You're right. But here's the scarier, I guess, part, if you want to be scared, is that it's already there. It is already there. We're already being mined. That's a fact. This is life. And we're going to be mined harder than ever because they've deployed all that technology into people. And all those towers going up, nothing to do with cell phones, nothing to do with that. It's all people. We are nodes, like we already are anyway. It's a hijack of this natural system. We have a natural system on Earth. There's a hijack. That's it. That's what's going on. And so, that's very complex for some people. But remember, like I said, different people have different interests. So that I like all that nanotech because I've always been interested in that type of physics, right? Like quantum physics long ago. Because when quantum physics is a thing, and when people get miracle healings and shit happens, man, that's unexplainable. And when that there's way more unseen than there is seen, way more. So just don't worry too much about the seen when everything happens in the unseen first. And that's a lot going on back there. So, that aside, like the truth is that that type of technology is already there. It's already bypassed. Us mining us and our things. That's old technology, tell you the truth. And Elon Musk, he's there to be fake. He's there to say oh, there's a chip. There's no chip. Our cells in our bodies are the chips. That's it. That's the chip. There's no chip. It's like saying, yeah, a gramophone. We're all going to have a gramophone soon. No, That's a lie. Like you said, the space a lie. Yeah, but it's also a lie to pretend like you are going to sit there and you're going to agree to have a chip in your brain. Yeah, no, that's not how it's going to work. It's there. It's how it is, man. Whatever they're going to do, that's there. And it uses your own body, your own technology right there in your own body. That's high tech. That's high tech. Our bodies are very high tech. These guys are like that Haruni guy. Didn't he say long ago that a human being is a hackable? Hey, he said it right out long ago. Remember Haruni? You know him. Yeah, a hackable. Yeah. Do you know what that means? Like, but it takes a while to sink in. And that is what the drama is for. It's pretend there's a space, because God only knows there's a lot. People predict this and that. But, we'll see what they do with the space fake thing or whatever that's cooking. And then, him and his whole, there's no brain chip. And, I've been saying from day one, it's like, holy hell, no. It's right there, because every one of our cells is a processing plant.
That's right.
It is. Our whole body is ridiculous, and the DNA. Never mind the code of the DNA. I'm saying every cell, like, it replicates, it does stuff. Like, come on.
Yeah,
they are hacking
a billion moving parts.
Oh, it's not even fathomable, and I look into it nonstop, and it's not fathomable. But you have to sort of see. Just to know what. Oh, sorry, that's my dog. He's being badass. I'm just going to be here. Oh, hi.
Yes.
Oh, sorry about that. Did you hear me? Did you lose me there?
Yeah, no, I just hear you there with the dog.
Oh, yeah.
In the
Okay,
background.
good. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, whatever. That's it. That's what the Trump and the thing and the Elon.
Yeah.
Drama. And it's interesting. And, like, they'll gauge how people like it, whatever it takes to engage you, and throw red herrings everywhere. And it is interesting. It is funny because, like, to me, it's interesting because I think, oh, what's this about? Because I know it's about something. Oh, and Canada government. So you were talking about, what you're saying, that they can collect, and they're doing a 10-year thing, whatever. They're doing that forever. But now it's come out in the open. And then, what they were saying about the open? Now that's a sidetrack, but what they're saying is that, do you know that when there's security breaches or something at big banks, do you know that they don't announce that right away? Do you know that when they announce it, it's been 8 months in?
Yeah.
By the time the amounts of people are like, oh, wow, my bank might got hacked. Yeah, 8 months ago. Ain't nothing you're doing. Your info's everywhere or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point of, okay, now they're going to tell us that, oh, hey, what do you know? They're going to get your info and put it wherever and inspire you into. Okay, well, that's old news, but good. They're announcing it to us now. Way to go. And Canada is getting to pass, what's that bill? See, whatever. Oh my God, 6-8 or something. They're going to pass that
or
bill.
65
The
or
pandemic.
63. There's so many bills they're passing.
The pandemic bill. Have you heard about that one?
Yeah, we had Rowowski, that James Rowowski, come on Mike in the Night long time ago about that bill that they're putting in place tied to the World Economic Forum and the World Health Organization, and it's all tied together. A plan that's put in place for Emergencies Act, and Canada was the first. Canada ran to sign up.
That's still
for this.
running, though. It isn't in place, but that's going, obviously. I mean, that's where it's going. Sorry to interrupt there. What were you saying? Yeah, Canada ran. Yeah, of course.
Canada ran to sign this first. We want to be the first to do this. We want to be the first to destroy our people.
Yeah, well, those guys didn't make those decisions. Don't worry about that. That's all above. It's a big, big plan in action. There's, who knows, it goes up and up and up. There's a pyramid, and the guys we see, they're just there, whatever. So that's the plan. So there you go. Hang on to your horses, because we're going through it. Like, that's it. Yeah. So those, Carney guys and everything, whatever. I can't even look at that. I'm just done. It's so insulting to intelligence. I'm done with that part. The part is hang on to your hats, because stuff is being unleashed. They're going to do stuff now because they learned from the last pandemic. That was a dry run of sorts, right? Because they did get the stuff in to people. That's good. That's a good goal. And then
There's a report. Let me see if I can find the report. I saw it the other day, where China is a new Chinese pandemic is being launched.
Yeah.
Another COVID or something. It wasn't the news the other day.
Oh yeah, I know. They're gonna try that again. Yeah. Yep. And here's the thing.
Here
So
we
they
go.
have learned. So they want to pass bills about all these laws you can't do. Yeah, they learned like no protesting. That's for sure. No doing nothing.
Right here.
All against the law.
Here you go, Lenny Poo. Experts warn new Chinese virus is one step away from triggering a new global pandemic from 1 day ago. And scientists have issued a warning that the newly identified coronavirus strain HKU5 COVID2 fungulo may be just one mutation away from becoming transmittable to humans and potentially triggering another global pandemic. A fungulo.
No foxtrot. Foxtrot needs to be fungulo. They need to right?
Yeah.
Call the police right now. Tell them.
We're being robbed.
Holy cow. No. Fungulo. Yeah. It's not foxtrot no more. Right?
So yeah, they're spreading this shit again, and obviously it's your typical wise guys, right?
Well, they're saying that the WHO will have we're going to join the global part. They're coming right out. That's written right there in the bill. Exactly that the WHO's going to decide. They're going to decide, and we're going to do what they say. Oh my God. If people go for that or whatever, because I'm thinking, oh, well, yeah, you want to see people head to Ottawa? Like half the country should have been there last time anyway. I don't know what that was about. They weren't and I'm talking not for the party. No, I'm talking for the thing where you're standing up now, because they just said it's illegal, and it's not illegal. Well, guess what? They have learned, and now they're making it that it is all in advance. Yeah,
So,
they're putting
Lenny
laws together. They're learned.
Lenny Poo, who are these experts, though? This experts warn new Chinese virus. Experts. The same experts that told you that if you didn't buy a house right now, you'll be forever bought out because housing will keep going up and you'll never own anything. Those experts? Or the experts that told you that Florida will be underwater by 2010?
Those are all different type of experts. You can't have an expert on a market.
Oh, it's
is
bullshit.
not an expert thing.
So it's yeah.
No, but on things that are physical, sure, you can. Market, you don't know. It's so driven by so many factors. Like here, where I am, yeah, it's not like that. Like, good luck buying a house. Good luck. Throw all your money at a house, and so are 27 other people. And may the fucking best, whatever, get it. It's very difficult to buy a house here, so prices went up. Markets are locally, so it really depends, but it's not like that everywhere. But anyway, as far as the other things you're saying, yeah, the global experts. Okay. Anyway, whoever wants to listen to that can knock themselves out. I don't really care. Go right ahead. Experts, doctors used to recommend Camel cigarettes.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 doctors recommend Camel cigarettes. I used to play that black and white commercial on Mike of the Night. Do you remember?
Black and white. Oh my God!
I remember I used to play that black and white commercial of and 1 out of 3 women prefer.
Yes. I might have sent you that too.
Yeah, and I played it on the show.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Those ads. Yeah, they sure did. They got on the television, and they did ads sitting right there with their lab coat on, smoking the cigarette, telling you all about it. Because they knew, right? They know how to get to the mind of the people. Oh, they know. Oh, hey, how? They're behavior experts. So they, know what to do. It's like, okay, how do you gain whatever respect and authority? And, just like they did with COVID, we saw it so good. Oh, look, you're on the team. You're a winning team. You're a good person. Look what you're doing. You're going to roll up your sleeve for your country, for your whatever. Yeah, that's such propaganda. How can you not even see that? Like, I was disgusted.
Remember
with
Kathy Kohl, the governor Kohl or whatever her name was, the governor of New York there, went over to a university in New York University, Catholic University, and she told everybody at the university that Jesus came to her last night in a dream to tell everyone to take the vaccine.
I remember you said that. See, this is why prophecy and all this kind of thing, I don't go for none of that. I
But
just
she had a
stick
dream,
to
and
the
Jesus
basics.
told her to
I
tell
know.
everyone to
Yeah,
take the
yeah.
vaccine.
She told everyone, yeah, no divination for me, man. None of that.
Yeah,
No. But I remember that. That's so funny. I remember when you actually brought that up on your show. That was a long time ago. That was
that was like
hilarious.
2021. Yeah.
That was funny.
Can you believe
Yeah.
that we're on episode 609 of this damn show?
That's a lot. That's a huge commitment.
Yeah.
That's a huge
I make
commitment for you.
$200 a year doing this.
Don't tell CRA or whoever.
Yeah, the $200 a year I make. Did I tell you? Did you watch the beginning of the show about this guy that's complaining?
About what?
There was a guy that was complaining. I was on social media the other day. I was on YouTube and I was going through this. Wow, this guy's got like half a million subscribers. I go to his channel like, what is this guy talking about? I go on his channel. His last video is complaining that he only makes $200,000 a year on social media USD, and it's not enough for him to live. And I'm like, holy shit! I make $200 a year, and I'm still trying to get by, just getting through life. You know what I'm saying? And he starts a GoFundMe to raise money for a new computer because he needs a new computer to stream. He ended up getting like, I don't know, I think it was 150 or 200, I can't remember, like $100,000 or $150,000 for him to buy a new computer for him to stream. I'm like, holy shit. Like, if this guy made $200 a year, he would not be online, he would not be wasting his time, and he would not be acquiring followers. He would just be doing something else to make money because, no one's in this for the love of it anymore like I am. Well, a lot of people are.
Well, the thing is,
it
really is an industry, right? So being a YouTube guy or whatever you're doing, all those guys, which I'm not in that. I am not tech savvy. I find it a real hassle. It's a testament. I don't listen to no other shows that I have to go from Odyssey to YouTube to whatever. Got to look it up. What's my password? How do I get in there? How do I comment? It takes a long time for me to learn how to work it. It's very complicated and you switch around a lot. But the thing is, on YouTube or all these kinds of like places, there are people who it's an industry. So they think about, okay, what do you got to do to launch a program? Like it's very, you know what I mean? It's becoming very savvy. I actually live next door to a famous YouTuber. He's famous in the world. They're from whatever. He speaks 5 languages. They're from all over the place because we have a lot of immigrants here.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't even launched yet. And all he does is film all the time because when he launches, he's going to have things every single day. Like it's a whole industry. And he does it for other people, or he did bands or something in whatever country he came from. He's huge, young, but YouTubers, like that it's a real business for these guys. You know what I mean? You are more your heart. You're like, hey, I'm just going to talk to people, talk about what's going on. Like I'm going to have a real discussion. It's like a fireside chat. It's a whole different thing. And those others, that's more of a business. They run it like a business. How do you do content? Whatever. A lot of them have like people who direct them or whatever. Like there's lots going on. You're just there by yourself and you're a whole other thing. You know what I mean?
I know I'm a whole.
You're not a staged trying to a production. It's just different. You're just on talking to people. Mm-hmm. Totally different. The other ones are good. They're interesting too, I guess, that kind. Like there's so many, right? People who put out content. It's like, holy cow. It's ridiculous. I don't partake in any of that.
Mm-hmm.
No. You're the only one once in a while. Why? Because that was really good news. I caught up on a lot of good stuff.
Oh, at the beginning of the show?
Yeah.
Yo, I got some pretty good headlines today, so.
Mm-hmm.
There's about, I don't know, 16 to 20 hours a week that go into preparing for the show too, right?
Oh, I'm sure. It's so technical. You gather, I can't imagine the messages you get from so many people all over the place.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a lot to sort through and organize. But it's your thing, You like to do that. Like you like to not talk, but you know what I mean? Like I'm not just socialized, but remember in the old day when men got together and they talked?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that? like old school, because I'm
Yes.
very old school. I'll tell you, both sides had whole, that was part of your culture. Men got together, there was a parlor or whatever.
We do it
For
at my
dinner,
store.
they talked.
We do it at my store. At my store, I got a table with 8 chairs, and I had Fat Tony there today. I had my Jamaican friend there today. I had what's his name? I had a couple of like 3 or 4 other people there today, and we're just sitting around talking like men, and actually talking. Like if people probably heard some of our conversation, they'd call us all kinds of like anti whatever. You know what I mean? But
Oh, whatever it is, that's what it is. That is how we are as people. I know that. I came from a huge family.
Mhm.
And I'll tell you, the men, and that's sort of them. They're gossiper, and it's not even just gossip. I don't know what they are. Men are blabbers. They really are, and they got to get together in big groups, and they got to do their thing. And remember that movie, that classic, Gone with the Wind?
Yes.
Ever see that? How the men got together and planned. Those are the good old days. Like all throughout history, that's how you communicate. You sit around, you talk, learn what's
Smoke a
going
nice
on.
cigar.
Leaders ride to the top naturally, because men look at them, and it's rare it happens. You're not trying to get power or anything, just whoever you are, how you are. People say like, hey, whatever, right? And they want to fall. Like, it's natural. It's how all that should naturally be. So yeah, that's great. And then so you have that forum, which is great. And yeah, it's cool that you get, it's just old school, it's old school. That was all real. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just an instinct you'll have to try to talk and figure things out and see what's going on. And then, try to lead your family for sure,
Yeah.
with the knowledge you have. Yeah.
All right, Lenny. How long have we been talking for?
I don't know,
talking for a
but
lot.
it's so good to talk. Sorry, I blabbed on.
No,
and
that's
on
okay.
there.
No. That's what you're here for tonight. That's what you're. That's why you're here, right? So on Mike in the Night, you've been with us. I don't know since what 28, since trends in the housing market.
Yeah.
Real estate stuff back in the day. Like way
Yeah,
back.
both. It was that was a whole thing unto itself. On Wednesdays, a whole separate identity and thing. It did. And then Saturday, there were 2 separate identity shows. Yep, I would say.
Yeah, the good old days.
Yeah.
I don't regret any of it either. I love it. I'm here for heart. There's a lot of people on social media for heart. They are. But there's just so many people that are on it, like you said, for a business, and they don't really care if they're lying to someone, and they'll take whatever money they can from who. What do you want me to say? Give me the money, right? And it's really heartbreaking how it's become a betrayed thing. Social media, or trying to be an influencer or something. It's all money, right? Follow the money.
I guess, or maybe it's just an opportunity. Like, I think more and more, it's like a job. Like, people think, hey, this is a job for me. They like the idea.
If this
know.
was a job for me, I would have starved to death years ago.
Yeah, it isn't. And yeah, you do a whole other thing. That's all.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Just do your thing.
Yeah. All right, Lenny. Thanks for coming on and being part of the show tonight and being part of this family for so many years.
Yeah,
And
my pleasure.
yeah, we'll get you on soon enough, okay?
You bet.
God
I'm
bless.
gonna tune in.
God bless.
I'm gonna
Thank
clean
you.
the kitchen and tune in. All right. God bless you as well, Mike, and all. Bye.
Bye-bye. Man, that was Lenny Poo. And yeah, it's she's been here for so long, watching Mike in the Night and being part of the family and exchanging points of views and discussion pieces. And I like joking around with her about certain things. I like to joke around and laugh and talk about how it's kind of in your face type of thing, and people are choosing to ignore it type of thing. And yeah, so we got a PDS in the house saying great conversation. The Loco says, I see money as something that can be used when electric and internet goes down or become a target of government. So we got Dino Bravo in the house. We should get Patriot Parabellum on the show. We haven't had him on in over 2 months or 3 months. Um, if we should get Patriot Parabellum on the show, if he wants to come on and talk to us, just add me on Instagram. Send me a message. I'll get the message request, and I will approve you, type of thing. And we get enough people on here, we can start opening lines, because then we'll have like 70, 80, 100 people on the Instagram here. And then what we do is I will know, or you could just call in, because we are connected, right? And yeah. All right. Okay, guys. Who are we going to get on next? Guys, just send me a quick Instagram message if you want to come on. I would really appreciate it. We had Dino Bravo on last week, and he was really good. We had some pretty good callers on last week's Mike of the Night, 608. If you guys want to check it out. 608 was actually a really good show. It was really upbeat. It was, well, if you missed 608, go back and watch 608. It's worth the watch. It's a great show. Yeah, no problem. Patriot Parabellum says, yeah, Mike, sorry, Mike. New job, got me working Saturdays. I'll come on next week. How about... Yeah, and you know what, guys? I'm just going to let you guys know that next week's Mike of the Night, we will be starting an hour later. I have my daughter's... ballet recital next week. It's from 4 to 5 p.m. So I won't have enough time to come home and have the show ready. So what I'll do is I'll start at 7 p.m. and so we got I'm going to make we don't have a lot of people watching the show tonight, so our 3 or 4 moderators are not here. So I'm going to assign Patriot Parabellum here as a moderator here. I think there's some sort of a problem in the chat here. So hopefully he... and I think... Wait, all my moderators are gone. Wait a minute. Why are all my moderators gone? I had 8 or 9 moderators on this channel. They're all gone. Guys, something's going wrong with... Guys, I don't know what's going on. But there's a problem with Odyssey, guys. It's fallen apart. Something's not right with Odyssey. And, guys, if we have to leave Odyssey... if something happens we can't stream on here because we're having audio issues with the show when it starts, then we'll move to Kick. K-I-C-K. But we'll still put up all your episodes of Mike in the Night. Guys, don't forget to email me if you want to join our mailing list, MikeMartins1980@gmail.com. If you don't want to miss an episode of Mike in the Night, go ahead and please go ahead and email me personally, and I will go ahead and add you to our mailing list so you don't miss an episode of Mike in the Night. In case we have to move the show around, I don't know, but we'll keep going with it here on Odyssey. I haven't tried Rumble yet to see if they'll give me... So 4 or 5 weeks ago, Rumble wouldn't give us a stream key, and this is the second time they didn't give us a stream key, so I can't stream without a key. So we're pretty much kicked off of Rumble, but you still go to mikeofthenight.org, and it still goes... We can still upload to Rumble, because I have the $40 a month package, but we can't, unfortunately, yeah. Guys, buy me a coffee, guys. There's a link pinned to the top if you guys want to buy me a coffee. And kiwiradio.nz, if you guys want to go to kiwiradio.nz, you could find MP3 replays of Mike in the Night. There's 608 right there. 607, 606, 605. If you guys don't want to chew up your bandwidth with video, go ahead and go to kiwiradio.nz where you can find episodes of Mike in the Night there. And guys, don't forget Facebook. If you want to follow me on Facebook, I'm It's really, I'm not trying to brag. I'm not bragging, okay? It's just I've never reached so many people in my life ever through like Facebook is enormous. I'm reaching roughly 680 to 800,000 people every 28 days on Facebook. I don't know how or why, but people are watching my old stuff and commenting on my old stuff, and the newer stuff is starting to get views, but people are finding stuff I said or we said, or this is incredible. So yeah. And mikeofthenight.org will take you to our previous episodes of Mike of the Night so you don't miss an episode. And we got Instagram. If you want to message or call, you could do that. And MikeMartinsTax.com. If you guys are having tax issues, go to MikeMartinsTax.com and fill out your tax issues here. And somebody will get back to you. MikeMartinsTax.com. I would appreciate the support, guys. If you have any tax issues, go there. All right, so we don't got, guys. I don't know what happened to our moderation, guys. So I'm gonna go back to Patriot Parabellum and add as a moderator again. Okay, add as a moderator. It cannot do. Patriot Parabellum is already a moderator for Mike. Okay. Maybe Paul and Patriot Parabellum, if you guys could refresh the stream and see if you guys are moderators on here, because I'm not seeing no emblem beside your guys' names. I don't know what's going on, but we're running out of places to stream this show. Pamela finally shows up. Holy smokes. Yeah, we'll see you, Patriot Parabellum. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Next week's show, guys, is going to start an hour late. Again, because I have family. And it's summer. And got a lot going on. All right. All right. What do we got going on here? Send me a request on Instagram and I could add you too. Who else is here? Let's go to our Mike of the Night chat here. Oh, Mitch Madden. All right. Junkyard Dog. I hope he's watching. Wonder if Junkyard Dog is there. He's always got some good stuff for us too. Oh, there's a lot of people that are on Instagram right now, but I don't think they're even watching the show though. That's the problem. There's a lot of people on Instagram here that I see, but I don't think they're watching the show though. All right. Okay, guys, does anybody want to call in? Just send me a quick message here. And we could keep the show rolling here for the next little bit. Keep the show rolling for the next little bit. Looks like Dano's there. Looks like Dano's there. We could get we haven't had Dallas on the show in a couple of weeks. Dallas Winston. We could get him on the show. We could get No Way Jose is out clubbing tonight. He told me himself. Yeah, we lost a lot of our regulars when we switched over from Rumble to Odyssey 2. We lost a lot of our regulars. It's really hard to stream the show with yeah, we haven't heard from Pamela in a while. I'd like to hear from her too. Tommy's I haven't heard from him in a while. He's always got some good stuff. Yeah, we're not getting our none of our regulars are here. None of our main regulars are here tonight too. Yeah, Dallas could come on. Just message me Dallas first on Instagram. Just go ahead and message me first. I think I already have you because you've been on the show multiple times. And we'll get Dallas Winston on the show. And he could message us, and I could set up the next call. And so... Yeah, Dano always makes me think of Sean Penn in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Yeah. He's so Cali. All right. No one's messaging me. Come on, people. It's tough, man. It's a tough show. It's a tough crowd tonight. Yeah. Tough crowd. All right. Someone's asking me who the Taycel character is. I have no idea. I have no idea. This is Odyssey, folks. This is a Saturday night fight night here. All right. We're going to get our boy Dally Winston here on. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Dallas Winston on the show. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad, brother. How goes it with you tonight, my friend?
Well, you know how it is. We try to fight the good fight here and be on the right side of things, hopefully.
I hear you there, man. I'd like to rather be on the right side of history than the wrong.
Yeah. Like I told my wife, I don't want my kids to grow up thinking I never did anything when the world got ripped apart.
I feel you there, man. The lack of spine in a lot of these people today is kind of saddening, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel you there, brother.
All right. You said you had some AI stuff for us? Or
Yeah. Watching one of my other channels there, the Understanding Conspiracy, and he had some interesting things to bring up on his show about AI and everything that's going on with it, man. It's disturbingly creepy. Like, so he was mentioning, well, one aspect was just the basically like for the climate activist type of thing out here. They bringing up how bad of a carbon footprint it actually is to run AI. Like how much power consumption there is in running AI. It's kind of insane. So he was saying basically to make like one little kind of 10-second, 15-second clip of AI, the equivalent of running your microwave for like 2 to 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of ridiculous, man. Like
Wow, that's great. That's crazy, man.
that's a lot of power consumption, man. Like I can't see how that, if everybody starts using it, I
Mm-hmm.
could see how we would start seeing a lot more kind of like brownouts and stuff, because the power grid, I don't think, is going to be able to handle that, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, the grid won't be able to handle that because our infrastructure in Canada is over 100 years old, right? So
Yeah.
that's the problem. America has been upgrading its infrastructure big time. Um, they did a major upgrade in the 70s, a major one, and then they did a huge upgrade in the 90s. And then right now, as we're talking, right now, they're upgrading their electrical infrastructure, and they're laying a lot of groundwork right now, especially in states like Oklahoma, Montana, like more of the neglected states are getting more upgrades now, which is good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so we're seeing a change in America, hopefully for better when it comes to electrical infrastructure, right? No one should be left in the dark, right?
No, I agree. I agree. And just the prices alone on electrical, like here where I'm at in Ontario, right? Kitchener area, like the power grid here is kind of pathetic. Like it really needs an overhaul. And just our sewer systems alone, like
No, we
the
got to
area.
send more money to Pakistan for gender research. What are we going to
Oh,
fix our
of course,
grid for? What for?
right? Why help the Canadian people, right?
That actually fought the wars and build this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like my grandfather, who pretty much died in World War II. He
Mm-hmm.
may as well have died over there. Like he was shot in the head, survived it, and he was back like 2 years. This is what my grandmother told me. He was
Mm-hmm.
back like 2 years, and his heart just failed on him from shell shock or PTSD, right?
Man, I'm sorry to
So
hear that. I'm sorry.
it would have, yeah, it sucks, and I would have definitely loved to have talked with him personally, but it is what it is, and I still thank him. But I tell you this, with the state of everything right now, he's rolling in his grave. Like,
Yeah, he definitely is. My dad is. A lot of our forefathers and parents and grandparents that passed on that worked to build this country or these countries are basically like, wow, what a shit show we're in right now. Total shit show.
pretty much. And like, I lost my grandmother almost, it's coming up close on a decade now when she passed, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of almost glad that she doesn't have to see what a wreckage it's become. Like she kind of got out before it was too bad, in a sense.
My dad was the same thing. He died August 2019, just before they pulled the trigger on the pandemic.
Yeah.
So,
Sucks. It sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that, but
but
you all of our, for all anyone's loved ones that are gone, it's, I feel bad for all of them, man. But
so where do you see, what do you see personally, what do you like? I know where you're at, where you're living, in the area you're at is I talked to somebody from there the other day, and they told me it's turning into a complete, like, it's a dumpster fire.
oh, it's complete shithole, man. It's becoming like it's getting harder and harder for people to find work. I keep hearing more and more stories about that. Like the amount of homeless I see around here is crazy. We have multiple tent cities. Like I can drive by pretty much damn near any wooded area,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll see tents or little shanties set up and shit, man. Like,
And the crazy thing is, you live in a part of Ontario where 8 months of the year is cold.
yeah, exactly. So that on top of that, I don't know how they're like, and our winters have been getting like the past couple of years, they've been progressively worse.
Mm-hmm. So no
And
global warming.
it has something to do with the chemicals and shit they're dumping in the sky. I could only imagine it is something to do with the chemtrailing and weather modification.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, even like my experience is like, there's been something very odd going on with like ice specifically in the winter. I've
Mm-hmm.
been noticing it's like extra hard.
You know
to get
what?
on.
Somebody was
Yeah.
mentioning that a few weeks back too. They were talking about how out east in Nova Scotia and New Brunswick and the provinces out east are noticing the ice is becoming more rigid and weirded.
Yeah, almost like plastic, man. It's weird.
Ploshk. It's like they're spraying shit in the sky, and then when it rains or you get the residual snow or whatnot, it when it melts down and then refreezes overnight when it gets cold, it turns into like a plastic, like you said. And I heard it's flammable too.
Yeah, another weird thing is like I've been like this is going back maybe 4 years now. I've been noticing this that when it melts, there's like a chemical sheen on everything, like rainbowish, like almost like it's like gas or like oil or something.
I'll explain what it is. Do you remember when you were kids? When I was a kid, you used to have those little flow rivers by the little sidewalk, and the water would flow, and then sometimes there would be a couple of drips of gasoline or oil that would fall in, and you see these like rainbow type in the water.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what
That's
you're talking
exactly
about?
what it looks like. Yeah, it's weird, man. And it's supposed to be fresh rainwater, and it looks like it's I don't get it, man. And the only thing that makes any sense is the shit they're dumping in the sky, right? And then hitting it with their microwave beam so it'll, change the weather pattern, whatever the hell they're doing.
Well, you know what happens when people play God, right? It just falls apart.
Oh, exactly. Look what happened over in Dubai there a few years ago, and the city was flooded, man.
Well, yeah, because they were cloud seeding, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they've been doing that since Vietnam, I think it was, when I was reading articles from
Yeah, that
way,
goes
way
back to Operation Popeye. In Vietnam, they were already. Have you seen like a Mike of the Night from like 3 years ago called Weather Wars, Weather Modification Mike of the Night? That was a good Mike of the Night.
I think I missed that one. I'm gonna have to go
It's
back and
years
watch
ago.
that.
Just maybe look on Weather Wars. Maybe look that one up. That's a really good Mike of the Night. That was really good. I think Lenny Poo came on that one too, and then we went over different weather strategies and modifications and updates that they did and what they're planning to do in the future. That was a pretty actually. Did you see my killing them softly with chemtrails?
I don't think I'm gonna have to go back and check those ones out, man.
That killing them softly with chemtrails is really good. That one I did, and I went into like more of a scientific approach on it.
Yeah.
Which I rarely do because I don't want. I'm not the most sharpest tool in the shed, and it's easy to be
I
wrong.
hear you, man. I'm just basically a knuckle dragging welder. So.
Well, if they don't have people to weld, everything falls apart, right?
Well, hey, yeah, that's pretty much it, right?
So, and so go on. So the ice is looking like it's plastic.
Yeah, it's really weird, man. Like it's not all the time, though. That's the other thing. It happens like every so often, but it's so weird, man. Like I've broken a couple of my scrapers now trying to get the shit off my car. Like that's how bad it is, man.
Okay.
You almost gotta like turn the car on and let everything heat up before you even bother with it.
Yeah. I wanted to ask. So the oily looking filmy water, is that just after it rains and you can look on the surface of your vehicle, you kind of see it? Or on the window?
Yeah. Yeah, even the snow. Even when it snows, I'm getting that. When it melts, it's like this chemical sheen over everything, man. Especially on the windows. You can really see it.
I was watching clips like this past winter. I was watching clips of people setting snow on fire.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen a couple of videos of that too, man. That was really, really friggin' weird, man.
Setting snow on fire, dude. I saw that. I was like, whoa, that's something's not right, right? And we know obviously something isn't right, but holy smokes.
Right. It's like, when have you ever heard of an ice fire? Not me.
Well, they're gonna hey, don't laugh because they'll normalize it in 3 years. Just like children get heart attacks and strokes too. Remember, they normalized that too back in 2021.
And then they'll gaslight the shit out of us and make us feel like we're insane.
Yeah, Rachel Madcow comes on TV and tells you if you don't take a vaccine, you're going to kill your grandmother.
Rachel Maddow, I hate that broad.
And then you
She
know
is
what?
so
She didn't
mean.
take a vaccine herself.
Oh, they never do, not them. But they'll force it on us.
Yeah. Yeah. They never take it. They force it. That's exactly what it is.
It's like all those videos of them getting the fake vaccine, the needles with the heads that push in, the
Fucking
retractable
idiot. You know
needles.
that piece of crap Netanyahu, okay? He's sitting there on the chair taking his vaccine, and the end cap, we played it on Mike in the Night, the clip. The stupid orange end cap is still on the needle.
Yeah, I
And
seen
then he
that
goes,
one.
breathes a sigh of relief after taking it and wipes his face and says he feels great and gets up, rolls his shirt up. It's like, you horse-kicking shit manure prick balls, liar, you prick.
The way they gaslight us, it's so insane, man. And like the people that don't see it at this point, it's like there's no help for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like sadly, a lot of my family are on that page. They just fucking eat it all up.
You told me, yeah, this is the family divide that happens where family starts to divide and cut each other off because some idiot on the news tells them something about something and they believe it. And then if you don't believe what they heard on some guy telling them something, guess
Right.
what? You're the bad guy because you don't believe some guy with a tie on the news.
And I'm so sick of hearing, the experts say, the experts say. Well, what makes them an expert? What exactly makes them an expert? What, you're an expert asshole? Maybe I'll give you that.
Expert asshole.
Like,
yeah, for sure, man. But yeah, dude, I appreciate you sharing the show too, because I've been seeing people coming on from other people, and I think it was last week's show or the week before. Someone told me that in the chat, I caught it on the chat, that somebody came to the show from you. And I get,
oh, really?
Yeah, and then I got people like PDS on the chat too. People would come on and say they know PDS too. So people are sharing this show, right? I appreciate that people are going out of their way. Because
I thought I was completely shadow banned, man. I didn't think anybody saw half the shit I post on Facebook, man. I've been... My Facebook page has been so messed up for such a long time. Like, I'm amazed anybody really sees anything.
I couldn't believe, dude, that I'm reaching roughly 800,000 people in 28 days on Facebook. I can't believe how big Facebook is. I'm not trying to brag to you. I'm not bragging. It's because I was so shut down in the basement for so long.
Oh, I know. I feel you, Mike. It's because you're too real. They can't handle it, man.
Too real. You like how we call shit out and then it happens, eh?
Oh, I've been doing it for years. This is why people hate me, man.
So what do you want to call? What do you want to say? What do you think is going to happen?
What do I think is going to happen?
Yeah.
Pretty much just more of the same. Just more gaslighting, and then they're going to just ramp everything up until it all falls apart, man. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's the gaslighting is they're gonna ramp it up. I've been getting a lot of hate though. Now that I've kind of somewhat opened up on Facebook, I've been receiving a lot of hate, man. People need to tone it the fuck down because they're just making themselves look like idiots is what they're doing, right?
Well, you've heard of the dead internet theory, right?
Yeah, didn't you bring it up a few weeks back?
I don't know if I did personally, but people have been talking about it, how it's basically just like AI bots. Like what they'll do is they'll set up like rooms with like 100 different cell phones, and they're all fake accounts, right? And it's just AI ringing.
View farms.
Yeah, basically.
They're view farms.
That's what I think.
There's a really big view farm in China, where man you walk in and they're watching, every phone is watching the same thing, because when it changes an instant on the screen or it goes to another cut, you know how the light changes, right? When you're watching, right? The whole warehouse changes color or light fractions because there's tens of thousands of phones watching the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah. That's intense. I saw that. I'm like, holy wow.
But doing that explains how all these shit ass friggin' so-called influencers get all these views and
That
shit.
came after
Because
COVID.
I refuse to believe that anybody with a sane, rational mind is watching these assholes and taking them serious.
And if you look at their channels, you go to these YouTube channels, you'll notice that all their channels are post-COVID. Everything is after 2020, and they're telling you what you already know, which is really,
I've stopped watching a lot of people because of that. It's like you can see it now, and it's like as soon as you see it, it's like, yeah, I'm done with you. Goodbye. Unfollow. Get out of here. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I still remember all the hate I got when I said, no, Mark Carney's going to win, and Pierre Poilievre can't do nothing, and he's not going to win. He's not allowed to win. The amount of hate, I had to unplug the phone at my store, because that's how big the hate was, and they were calling me a liberal, leftard, all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, look, you guys don't understand how this game is being played. And they still don't understand how this game is being played.
No, like I've been saying for years, like it's one political party in Canada.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. Conservative, Liberal, Green Party, NDP. Like, it's all a game. They're playing us all against each other, getting us fighting. It's like the whole look left while they go right type thing, right? And all they do is think of ways to extract more tax dollars from us and fuck us so they get more money.
Yeah.
It's like it's one big goddamn club, and none of us are in it.
Well, none of us. No, nobody in this chat's in it. Nobody. We're just again this small underground. I wouldn't call us a resistance, because resistance means like you. No, we were not in a resistance. We're not even. We're just a bunch of people, just trying to talk ourselves through the bullshit, because we know it's all bullshit.
I'd like to consider myself more of a samurai.
Wah, sensei.
Warrior of God. It's interesting that, samurai, and I think it's Japanese, actually translates to warrior for God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting.
Yep. And, samurai.
Calling out the bullshit where I see it.
That's why I got the military, or we're called the Military Order of Christ here. That's why I got the Templar cross there on our little, there at the bottom there where the whole episode 609 is. You can see a Templar cross there, right? And that's the Military Order of Christ. That's what I feel I'm a part of, right?
I'm ever since what I've gone through in the past few years, man, like Jesus is king. So that's who I have all of my faith in.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, well, Christ is king, right?
That's the way I look.
He conquered death. He conquered everything.
And it's crazy. Like the more you study into it all, like
he conquered the Romans. He conquered the Romans because Catholicism took over, and Catholicism became the official religion of the Roman Empire, and the Roman Empire controlled the world.
At one point, yeah, but like it's kind of creepy. Like when you get into like the scripture and all that, and like when Jesus was speaking, he was speaking more directly in the time period he was in, like speaking to those people. Like
he was in
he
was
multiple
in the state
times
of Jerusalem
telling people
that was under fire, and it was under Roman control.
Yeah,
it was a state under Roman control, and look what's happening to Jerusalem today. And when Jesus said to the apostles that 60 or 58 or 63 years after my death, Jerusalem will fall brick by brick, and then or 70 years after it's rebuilt, will the end of times will come in, or 79 years after it's been rebuilt. Imagine being a Catholic in the year 1901 and thinking, I don't think there's no Israel. Israel is a fairy tale. It's been almost 2,000 years since we've seen it on a map. Oh, Israel's just a fairy tale. Jesus was wrong. Israel's not coming back. Boom, 1940 or 1950 or 1960, whatever. Boom, Israel's a state. Wow. How can you predict that 2,000 years in advance, man?
Right, and I'm on the page of like a lot of other people with like I believe that the whole Tartarian Empire thing.
Did you watch my Tartarian Empire?
I did. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
But like what I'm trying to get the point of here is that I believe from the studying I've done and following certain people that I watch, like other channels here, that are kind of on the same topic with this whole Satan's little season thing and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that the Tartarian Empire was actually the 1,000-year reign of Jesus. And that's when like Christianity spread over the earth. And before that,
did you watch the Military Order of Christ documentary?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
that's how Catholicism got around the world, through the Templars, rebranded by
through the Portuguese. Because the Portuguese landed in like in Newfoundland before the Vikings did.
Yep, that was Nova Scotia is Portuguese for New Scotland. A lot of people don't know that.
Yep.
And they did it in roughly 1410. They were there in 1410. Yes. And here's the problem: Columbus was born in 1451. So we got a problem with history. We got a problem.
That's why I sent you that. That's why I sent you that link to Gunnar Heinsohn. Because like he's not a Christian or religious in any sense. It's just he's a historian, right? And the things he came across lead to the fact that there's like 700 years that have been added to our history that is literally all fabricated bullshit. So like again, I think we talked about this before. We're actually in the time period. It's more like the 13 or 1400s. We're not in the 2000s. There's a big time gap, right? And that's after the whole Satan was loosed after being released from the pit, kind of thing. And I don't think it was Satan being loosed physically, because how certain scriptures talk about how after the flood and all that, all the so-called gods, or which were the Nephilim.
I think what you're talking about the correct me if I'm wrong, the phantom time hypothesis. Is that it?
I haven't heard that one yet. I haven't heard about that. What is that? The phantom hypothesis.
Because I used to study this historian. I think his name was H.I. was his initials on his work, and he claimed about 300 years, specifically around the year 614, were fabricated, and we're not really in 2025 today, so to say. We'd be in 1720, so to say.
Yeah, I could see that.
And he said that basically that, if I recall, I'm just going off the top, I'm just trying to remember. He said that basically historical documents were forged.
Yes.
And
I've heard something about that.
Yeah, and people like certain kings and certain people that ran that existed through history never really existed at all. And they were invented to legitimize that time period that didn't exist.
Yeah, like Shakespeare. Apparently Shakespeare wasn't actually a person at all. He was a group of people.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. And
so that's interesting in itself right there. And so like another one that was interesting, like the whole Jack the Ripper character was never actually a person at all. It was apparently a ruse devised by the medical community back then so they could do illegal testing on corpses and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
so they could, push their pharmakia.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's interesting too. That's a rabbit hole that I went down. That was some dark shit, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it gets pretty dark once you start getting. That's why I've been more surfaced as of lately. I've been very surfaced. Did you? I'm going to ask again. I'm going to ask another one. Did you end up watching Columbus Hidden Files?
Yes, I got to. There's like 4 of those videos, right? I watched 2 of them so far.
The Christopher Columbus one. How, like, it's like what I'm presenting and what I'm showing with the proof. It's like, holy crap! Everything's been a lie. Like, I mean, everything has been a lie.
For the most part, yeah. Sadly.
But why? I mean,
I
people will say control.
I mean,
They want control. But why would being lying about someone's culture, like, it just doesn't make any sense.
in one sense, I could, like, you almost got to put yourself in the shoes of Satan and, like, think on the lines of, like, what would I do if I was Satan to, gain control and manipulate? Like, because he doesn't really, and for what I believe, he doesn't actually have any real power. Like, he's just kind of been
Manipulator.
that loose, like almost like a I feel sorry for you kind of thing. It's like, okay, you want this so bad, here you go.
I bid you
play
all.
for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So
Interesting. All right, buddy. Any final thoughts or anything? Let's try and get another caller on here tonight.
any final thoughts? Just keep your head on a swivel out there, everybody.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah. They're really flinging all kinds of shit at us
On
from every angle.
on every angle, dude.
It's crazy. So,
yeah, man.
And even just with this whole forest fire thing now, that's been that they're doing purposely. I know
It's
they are,
arson
because
season. Yeah, continue. Arson season. Yes, continue.
I've seen tons of videos of, like, people out there doing that shit. Even drones loaded with flamethrowers, man.
Yep.
That was crazy shit.
Yeah, that was circulating a few weeks back. They're starting arson season real early too. Every year they start a month earlier. Last year they started arson season in my province in March.
Wow.
Yeah, oh, they're pushing hard. They're pushing
It doesn't,
hard.
and it doesn't make any sense how, like, there could be droughts right now when there's been so much overcast and rain late. I don't understand how wildfires are being able to be caused when it's been so wet. You know what I mean?
Last year, somebody filmed there was a pile of snow all over the place still and up in the mountains, and there was a forest fire, and there was a pile of snow everywhere. Literally all over the place there was snow. It's like somebody lit a fire and tried to keep it going, but there was just too much snow everywhere.
Jesus. Like, even where I'm at right now, like, I can still smell the smoke in the air. Like, there's like a fog, a hazy mist over the city the past few days. Like, yesterday and the day before, it was really bad. Like, it was really bad. It looked like just straight fog, but it was smoke. And this is in, Kitchener-Waterloo area. Like,
interesting.
So I don't know what wind direction or where exactly the fire is happening, where that would be pushing it all this way, or if it has something else, unless it's something else that's causing that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
all right, Dallas Winston, thanks for coming on, Mike in the Night, buddy. We'll get you on in a couple of weeks to update us, okay, bro?
Absolutely, man. I would love to come back on anytime,
All right. God bless you.
God bless you, Mike. Take it easy, everybody.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That is Dallas Winston here on Mike in the Night, guys. And, all right. Who else do we got here? We got messages coming in or what? Craig is telling us he's telling me he's rebooting his computer, and we got Mitch says Use me, Mike, if you need me, Mike. Someone's asking why they hate from... I don't know who's hating on the comments, guys. Guys, everyone, we should get along here. I know Odyssey is a fight club. I know there's a lot of fighting in Odyssey. I assign moderators, but the problem is it doesn't get through. I don't know what's going on, but... Drone warfare is expanding big time. Ukraine drones everywhere. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Mitch has got some stuff here for us tonight, man. Here on Mike of the Night, guys. Watch my Conspiracy Vault here. Go to my YouTube channel. Okay, scroll down to Conspiracy Vault. Push the thing. Push play all. Watch them all. They're all good videos, guys. We got this one here is really good. Goldback Wars, Killing Us Softly via weather modification. Killing Us Softly with that. Mankind's Great Awakening, Beyond the Veil, Consciousness versus Awareness. Healing Power of 432 Hertz. The Decommissioning of Church Bells. Proof Consciousness is the Foundation of Existence. Operation High Jump, Memoir 72. Tartarian Empire, The Decommissioned Pyramids. The Butter Conspiracy. 0 Point Energy got killed. Knights Templar, The Formation of the Order of Christ. And Erased History, The Truth About Christopher Columbus, Removing the Existence of Portuguese. Watch this Erased History here. I'm going to give you a link to it. Bookmark this damn thing for me, guys. Go ahead and bookmark this for me. Watch this later when you get time. Watch them all. I worked really hard to make a lot of these videos, so... Watch it all. Email MikeMartins1980@gmail.com. Don't forget to check me out, guys, if you want to not miss an episode of Mike in the Night. Join our mailing list, MikeMartins1980@gmail.com, and I'll add you to our mailing list. You'll get one episode a week, one email a week, and okay, I got the chat open here. We're gonna get Mitch on the show to wind it down tonight, and he's got so much. He's talking about a lot of things in the comments, so we'll get Mitch on right now. And who else is out there? I got the chat open here. Oh, I got Craig here. Craig just messaged me, says he's good to go. So maybe we could do a triple header or quadruple header here tonight on Mike in the Night. Okay, we'll get Craig on first, so he could update us on what's going on in New Zealand. And hopefully he can tell us what's headed our way. Because if it's happening in New Zealand, it's going to happen in Canada. And if it's happening in Australia, it's happening in Ireland, right? You're tuning into Mike in the Night.
Come on, let's work it to the bone. Come on, let's work. Work. Come on, let's work. Come on, let's work it to the bone, bone, bone. Come on, let's work. Come on, let's work it to the bone, bone, bone. Come on, let's work it to the bone, bone, bone. Come on, let's work.
To the bone.
Come on, let's work. Come on, let's work it to the bone, bone, bone. Let's work it to the bone, bone, bone. Let's work. Let's work to the bone, bone, bone. Let's work to the bone, bone, bone. Let's work.
Mike.
Craig,
Hey,
how
Mike.
are you, my brother?
Oh, I'm okay. Thanks for your support, and it's been a crazy month.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the loss of your dad, bud. I'm really sorry for the loss of your dad. And
Yeah, thanks, man. These things happen, and it's just part of life, unfortunately. But he was a good man, and we had a lot of good memories. So yeah, we're in a good healing time with my family, and I really see God work. That's the counter to all this negative stuff. Just very quickly, I know we've got a lot of people want to come on, but I've seen personally the power of forgiveness, the power of how God moves, and don't ever underestimate God.
oh no, God is everything.
You know,
God is everything that
and
ever
all of
was and
it.
ever will be. And
Yeah,
without
and
God,
all
we
of this
wouldn't.
stuff we're living through, don't ever underestimate the power of God and shining your light and doing, doing your Christian duty and how powerful that is.
Hmm.
Uh, I got sing and play at my dad's funeral,
Nice.
which is a blessing.
That's very thoughtful.
Um, yeah, well, what's happening in New Zealand is the economy is still slow. The houses are down about 20%, and they're still falling. The interest rates are coming down again. Um,
Are you noticing a migrant invasion like Australia is there?
oh, no, well, that's kind of old news. That's kind of 10, 15 years ago, to
Okay,
be
because
honest.
you're seeing more of predominant Chinese there in New Zealand.
Yeah, we get a lot of Chinese and we get a lot of Indians, and just on that, I just want to pick up on something in the comments, and I'm not having a go at anyone, but the idea to hate a certain group of people in them is what they want,
Yeah, they
and
win. They
I
win when they hate. We just want to know.
yeah
Me. I just want to know why a Canadian person can't get a job at a bank and why they hire a China. They have to bring in someone from China to work at the bank. That's my question. I don't hate these people.
yeah.
I just want to know
Oh
why
no, I agree.
they don't
I
hire
agree.
someone that speaks English and that was born and raised and
Yeah,
educated in Canada, but they have to bring in someone from
yeah.
India to do the job. It just
Oh,
doesn't
I
make
agree.
any sense.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't if you look at it. It depends how you look at it. If you look at it from understanding or viewpoint of, well, these people care about us and wants to have good lives and they care for their people and what they say when they go to get elected is true, well, it doesn't make sense. But if you understand they're working for masters and ultimately Satan who wants you to be angry and have hate in your heart,
Hmm.
well, then it makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Because you think, wow, well, what are they doing? Well, they're doing what they're supposed to. They're lying to you, making you angry and frustrated so that you can say, oh, well, I hate those guys. Well, bingo, he's got another soul.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's how I look at it. So I have to look at it in faith because otherwise, what the hell, And it's the same stuff. They've been spinning the lies out for years and years and years and years and years. Way back since 1915, and oh my God, it's way back to Adam. And that's just how I look at it, and I have to look at it like that because I can't see any other way that makes sense. Um, there's no other reason or rhyme for it.
Right.
Yeah, but like I said, in New Zealand, the cost of the housing market's down about 20%. The interest rates are down. The recession's biting, and we're getting into winter and yeah, we're very much like the rest of the West. We have one communist party with two branches, and you have the illusion of choice. You know? Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, which is just sad beyond sadness. And then we have the because we're a multicultural society, so they've been rolling out the race card again to split us up,
Okay,
divide
I
us.
just don't understand why they would have to bring someone into your country to work for the government, to work for your government when you should be getting that six-figure annual income being born and raised in your country. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, well, no, it doesn't. But, why would you try and run a country properly when all you have to do is, like, the housing market and the infrastructure, when all you have to do is open the immigration gates and there you go. Well, you've got your GDP numbers.
Hmm.
I've done my job because we've got good GDP growth. Don't worry about societal issues or actually looking after
It's
people.
okay. The locals will just be homeless. Don't worry.
Well, yeah, and I see a lot more of it in my truck when I drive. People in vans, and I see a lot more people begging, and it's horrendous. And the cost of food is just horrendous. I mean,
Oh, in New
I went,
Zealand, a
yeah,
pack of strawberries is like $30.
yeah, 15 to 30. I went to the supermarket about a month ago and got myself 3 bags of groceries, $150.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. What? Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're dead serious. I mean, God, you just about need a mortgage to get food, and we've seen a massive increase of people, like massive increase of people who are trying to sell their houses now.
Oh, it's an oversupply in the market there in New Zealand.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
maybe I should do a housing video to update because I've been covering New Zealand real estate for like 15 years. So
Mm, mm.
maybe I should do an updated video and letting people know where it's at now because the oversupply is happening now in Canada, and the oversupply
Yeah.
is happening now in the blue states of America. These people are trying to offload $1 million teardowns in California.
For 700. Oh, you lost. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, and now there's two things I know. I won't stay long, but there's two things I'll leave you with for the audience here. So, number one is we're dealing with people who are essentially playing a big board game of risk
Mm-hmm.
with our lives, sitting around a boardroom saying, for example, hey, we should go and invade this little country in Southeast Asia. And, it'll cost 2 million of our guys and probably 3 million of theirs, and we'll destroy them. But after it, we'll send our companies in and we'll rebuild them and we'll make a bunch of money. What do you reckon, guys? High five. Good plan.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing that now. You know, that little Asian country that's still running the place who didn't carry on the domino effect.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? That was all a bunch of lies, wasn't it?
It's a
So
bunch of
these are
garbage.
the same people running the place.
Mm-hmm.
Same people running the place.
A bunch of garbage.
And the other thing is, so I'll leave this with you people, good people. Now maybe we don't get to choose when we were born and what happens to us. But maybe our choice is, and I go back to, I'm very strong on my faith, is to, our choices, are we going to go to the light side or the dark side?
Mm-hmm.
And, hey, is that good or fair or right? No, probably not, but that's our choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's our choice. So, get on with it, do your best, and, have faith.
Mm-hmm.
Because my God is bigger than these people, parted the Red Sea, rose Jesus from the dead.
Yeah.
And I had absolute faith in that. Absolute faith in that. Sent manna down from heaven to feed the Israelites. Their clothes grew when they wandered around the wilderness for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
The clothes grew with him. He gave them bread and water. So, I'm going to go with God.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at. So listen, guys, you take care. Don't let it upset you because that's what he wants. Remember what he said to Job? Curse God and die.
That's right.
Don't fall for it.
That's
Anyway, that's all. That's all.
Thank you, Craig. We'll get you
No,
back on in
thank
a
you.
couple of weeks to update us, okay?
Yeah, once a month. It's fine with
Whenever.
me.
Yeah, just to update us to make sure you're still doing well and you're still working on your music and doing what you do, right?
Always, sir. Always. God bless, and I'll be listening.
Thanks. God bless. Bye. That's our boy Craig here on Mike in the Night. Oh, yeah. All right.
Mike.
Mitch, how are you, my brother?
Oh, just fine. It's been an interesting night. I have a kind of an interesting story to share with you all. We've had this big world and universe talk tonight about about God, about the evil of mankind, and all this. But I have just a basic story. Yesterday, I was walking along the highway about 3 miles north of the Coquille River, just north of Bandon, and a stretch of highway that is totally inaccessible. You have to walk along the back of a guardrail along this ledge. And anyway, I found a purse, a perfect purse. This is a Trump talk, a perfect, beautiful purse. It was hanging on a post that was, the guardrail was attached to on the back side of it, hanging over a cliff almost. And I grabbed it and I kind of opened it up and I looked. I saw money. I saw a cell phone. I saw a ID card and a bunch of other cards, and it was all nice and everything. So I put it in my bag and I carried it for another mile or so up a hill, and I got back to my car. I'd been walking almost 2 hours and I was exhausted. But anyway, I was gonna try to contact the gal because it had all of her stuff in there, everything. It was just like, it had two big bags of brand new coins. It had dollar bills. It had a $20 bill. It had all kinds. There was all kinds, everything just like perfect, like nothing. It hadn't been touched, and it was just hanging neatly. And I couldn't figure it out, so I got online, and the last person I found some stuff that I found, who it belonged to. I contacted about 6 weeks ago, and she brought a friend over and met me, and she picked all the stuff up. And but this time the gal seemed a little squirrely, so I Googled her, and I found out she's a 24-year-old gal who had just gotten released from the county jail here, Coos County Jail, May 13th, and she was in there for assaulting her 80-year-old grandfather with a lamp, and beat. As they said, the damage to him was significant, and the state police and sheriff's department went on the call. And I got jail documents and all kinds of things online, and I even know the judge that signed her release. Anyway, so I found out that she had assaulted her grandfather more than once, and she was kind of like I don't know, it was kind of shaky. So instead of contacting her, I decided to turn the purse in Coos Bay today. I drove up to Coos Bay and turned it in at the police department, and I told the cop, I said, I think that women can be just as evil as men, maybe more so in some cases. And he said, yeah, he said, that's been my experience. That, women can be awfully violent, and most of them are not, the sainted mom and all that, but, our mothers are great, and most people's mothers are. Not without their faults, but they're great. They're like Mother Teresa to us, to their kids. But anyway, I thought it was interesting that I found this beautiful purse, and I thought about should I pinch a couple dollars out of there for doing her a favor? But I didn't. But anyway, it said in the police report that she said she was beating her grandpa because he stole her purse.
What?
Now this was in March when the last incident happened. There was another.
And then you found the purse.
And then I found the purse, and it was totally untouched. Nobody has touched that purse. Nobody. I found other purses over the years, but there was no money in it. There was maybe some IDs or some cards or something, but no money. This thing had money. It had a cell phone. It had all kinds of valuables. And I can't figure it out. It's kind of a puzzle. And it was on a stretch of highway that it's absolutely, totally impossible to stop anywhere near there. And then you'd have to jump the guardrail and hang it on the backside there over a cliff. And it's absolutely impossible. Nobody in their right mind except me would walk back there. I'm hanging on the post as I'm walking along the inside of the backside of the guardrail. But anyway, that's an interesting story. But what else is going on, Mike? It looks like you got a few more minutes till you hit 9 o'clock.
Well,
It,
there's a lot of Elon Musk and Donald Trump left hand, and the right hand is doing something else. Distraction on one side, and the actual, what's this whole Musk and Trump distraction for, right? But I think it's this AI, this AI thing that's gonna trump. It's gonna trump the actual the regulation of regulating AI from individual states and allowing basically what's happening in a nutshell. If you watch the beginning of the show, is they're taking the power away from the states and federalizing it. So if you need to get surgery or something done, instead of going through your municipality or your city or your state, you got to go through the federal government. And I think that's going to be a really big problem, Mitch. I think it's going to be a very big problem, right? It's they're removing the state's power to protect you, Mitch, and leaving corporation and federal agencies in total control of how your life gets impacted. I think this is a big deal.
there's been, the first big loss for states' rights in the Constitution was the Civil War.
Right.
It actually, I believe that it says somewhere in the Constitution, I've got a copy of it, but I haven't read it in years, that a state has the right to succeed.
Secede. The state could leave whenever it wants to, right?
Right.
But then the crown wants to jump on there and say, "Well, no, we need your we control you, not you." Yeah. Right? The crown has the last.
The states' rights is the last vestige of protection that any of us have against the government, against the federal.
Yeah.
And by the way, I was just curious. I wanted to know how many combat deaths American servicemen have suffered since the Revolutionary War and all the wars. The Civil War, the Spanish-American War, the Mexican-American War, all the French and Indian War, all the war against the Philippines after the Spanish-American War with Aguinaldo in charge, and then later the Moro War down in Mindanao, the Moro War, and the Vietnam War, and the Korean War, and the Afghan War, and the two Iraqi wars, and all these wars. And I was amazed that there were just a little over 1 million combat deaths, and most of those were in the Civil War, about half of them. From all the battles we've ever been in, all these wars, all, not including injuries and, different types of problems, shell shock and this and that. But anyway, I'm thinking about
the biggest. But hold on, Mitch. I'm going to answer. Well, let me answer this real quick. I believe the biggest American casualty was the American Civil War.
Yeah.
I think close to 800,000, 700,000 to 800,000 got wiped out in that war, right?
Yeah, that was the biggie, and that's the only one where our homeland got destroyed too.
Yeah,
not in the north and not in the west, and not too far in the east, but the south was several areas of the south were decimated. Was it Sherman's March to the Sea and all that down south? They burnt down some cities and everything. Atlanta, I think.
I'm willing to guess the second biggest after that would be World War II.
Yes.
About 500,000.
You know what though? But like D-Day, I've been so brainwashed, Mike, growing up. I guess we all have. That D-Day was only about 150,000. I mean, it was a big invasion. You there?
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm listening.
Okay, but D-Day, there was only 150-something thousand people, that landed on the 5 beaches there in France, and including the paratroopers and everything that went in the gliders and all that went in advance. And I'm thinking, I've watched and studied all these different battles in Russia
Mm-hmm.
with the Germans, and it wasn't just the Germans. It was, I mean, there was the Romanians, the Italians, even some Spanish, even though they weren't aligned with Germany, and the Hungarians. They were all killing Russians,
Mm-hmm.
and there was Operation Bagratin. Now, Bagratin was a famous general that was killed at the Battle of Borodino, probably the most bloodiest battle of all of the Napoleonic Wars in 1812 in Russia. After they wiped out Smolensk, they went into Borodino before they went to Moscow.
Yeah.
And General Bagratin was killed there, the Russian. And Operation Bagratin was a huge operation that the Russians on the counteroffensive when Germany went on the defensive in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
But between 75 and 85% of all German casualties, the creme de la creme of the finest military organization in history up until that time, the Germans, was wiped out by the Russians, and the Russians lost about 27 million. The Japanese wiped out about 20 million Chinese. Those are the two largest. I mean, can you imagine your country being invaded, everything wiped out, everything burnt to the ground, blown up, people raped and slaughtered and killed and plundered, and by the millions? Well, America has never suffered that. And
well, they're suffering it through economic. Like Canada has been taken over. The Chinese have taken over a majority of Canadian real estate, mines, our telecom companies, our oils, our lumber. The Chinese have taken over almost everything here, and the fentanyl flows in from China, and the body bags, pile up, and the youth is being wiped out, and then not only that, we're not even done. It's and then the homelessness, and so we are losing a lot. We're
being invaded in a different sort of way.
No, we're being invaded, through economics. It's an economic takeover, right?
And the interesting thing is, Mike, is we are, with the images that we see and the reporting that we get. We are trying to be encouraged to hate all these actually poor immigrants they just they lack culture, they're angry, whatever. But the real threat is from wealthy, intelligent people in countries,
mm-hmm.
not from the poor people. They will eventually assimilate. After might be a couple of generations, but they will assimilate.
Well. It goes back to the question I've been asking with the other caller. It's like, why would they bring in someone from China to go work at a bank that we built? We built the bank, but we need to bring in a Chinese national now to come and work at the bank because they don't want to hire the local people. It makes no sense. It just makes, or a Hindu or a Muslim or somebody's going to come in to work at the bank because they're not going to hire us to work at the bank. It just doesn't make any sense, Mitch. I don't know. People call me a racist all the time. I'm like, no, I just want to know why they need to bring a Chinaman in to work in a bank when they clearly have so many unemployed Canadians that would love to work at a bank.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense.
I have found that if you live in a relatively safe and peaceful area, people are very productive. They're very helpful to their neighbors. They're really into charity and doing good deeds and keeping their areas clean and taking care of their community and et cetera, et cetera. But once you get an overabundance of immigrants, especially if they come from areas that are uncultured with low IQs, there seems to be a lot more crime. I mean, I'm just saying it like it is. I don't hate anybody or anything, but there just seems to be a lot more violence and crime and lack of safety and more, more graffiti, more dirt, more this, more that. And so I like just finding a place like I'm living that, like Merritt is probably sounds a lot like a similar place where it's relatively peaceful, even though if you look out beyond Merritt, and you go into the bigger cities, especially in the east of Canada, You know, the GTA and those kind of places. You've got major problems. But Merritt probably doesn't have any real big problems, does it? Other than the Merritt stalker.
No, we're getting a lot of bums being bussed in from the bigger cities here. And because we're a two-stoplight town, there's nowhere for these bums to go, so they're breaking into shit and breaking shit and robbing people, and it's not that it's not peaceful and quaint as I wish it would be. Sometimes I'm in my store and then like I'm sitting there and sometimes you get a trail of bums passing through and sometimes drifters and and it's not like Rambo drifters from the movie Rambo. We're talking about drifters that are really broken down and really like hunchback from so much drugs and just it's really really scary shit.
You're talking about First Blood. That was my favorite.
Yeah.
Last thing I'll say, Mike, is you made me think of something that I think I had mentioned it on a previous show, but there was a center here called the Devereaux Center up in Coos Bay, North Bend Empire area at the Y, they call it. And it's near one of the car washes where I work. And it's an area that homeless people from all across the country, it's like a destination spot. They feed the homeless. They give them bags of new socks and toothbrush and soap, and they give them a place to rest and hang out. And they have, when in the winter, when it gets really cold, they have a warming center there, and they hot meals and all kinds of stuff. Well, anyway, that parking lot was full, and there was homeless up and down the streets, and they would practically assault me at the car wash all the time. And other guys that work there and the owner and all that, they all have concealed carry permits. They carry guns and all that. Well, anyway, the cops were there all the time. I mean, they were being called. They were dealing with these people are the ones that you see that are hunched over and they're screaming and they're crazy, and there's a lot of them like that. Anyway, it's been for the last 7 years I had been up there and hanging out around that area, and man, it was like a nightmare. And I know that you asked me to film it, but I never did. But anyway,
come on, man.
What happened was the city council had enough, because there was several people busted for drug dealing out of the homeless area, the homeless center. And and some of the homeless gals were prostituting themselves out of there. So there was prostitution and drugs and violence, and these homeless people at night, they were going down at some of them and they were breaking windows in all the businesses and stuff. And this happened over and over and over. And, businesses were closing down and people were unhappy. Well, anyway, they finally closed the place down several months ago, and the city made them build a giant wooden fence across the front along the road there. It's probably about 300 feet long. And they've got a for sale sign on it, no buyers on the whole facility. It's a big, pretty good sized facility. But anyway, man, there's just a handful of homeless in that area now. They've gone on to greener pastures, and I haven't been accosted in a long time by homeless. Once in a while, one will come in there and ask me for $1 or something like that, but they don't bother me at all. They're not aggressive like they were. But this was a transient point, and the homeless that are transient, some are migratory and some are transients.
Migratory bums, yeah.
Yeah, some they have a regular route, and some don't have a route. They just kind of go. They move around with the weather, or they go to different places depending on what they hear from somebody about, opportunities and facilities and comfort and all that. But anyway, this area is not a destination spot anymore for them because they're not being catered to. So the crime and the activity has dropped significantly. I would say probably by 75-80%.
That's why these cities need to put signs up say "Don't feed the bums," because then don't feed the bums. And they'll move on.
I have kind of like a double-sided thing where sometimes I just think they should all be, knocked out and used for crab bait. And then sometimes I think I wish there was a way to help them, but anyway, Mike, you're past your limit now. And I would just kind of want to come on and shoot the bull for a couple of minutes. I didn't.
No worries, Mitch. Mitch, don't worry about it, man. You're welcome anytime on the show, and welcome to stay as long as you need to stay on. But I am slightly falling asleep here because it's been a really long day.
All right, we'll see you next Saturday at 7, maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna start later next week, guys. 7 p.m. Mike in the Night. It's just because I got a few things to do with the family, and then on June 21st, I may have to move Mike in the Night to a Sunday or a Monday because it's I'll be celebrating my son's birthday. So.
Cool.
That's why I keep telling everyone to join our email list. I'm not going to bug you. I'm only going to send you an email a week to let you know when we go live, and that's it. So
yeah, I got your notification tonight on Facebook about 15 minutes after the show started.
Perfect.
I've been getting it a little bit earlier, but today I got a little bit late. But anyway, I was already on the show anyway. I found my way.
All
okay,
right,
Mike. Well, God bless.
God bless you, brother.
Good night to everyone.
Good night.
All right.
All right. That's our boy Mitch from Oregon. It's been updating us on what's happening there. And next week, I want to get some new callers in, if possible. I would like to get some new, not first-time callers, but fresh callers on the show. And I want to give everybody a chance every couple of weeks or every month if they want to come on. Craig said, I'll come on every month and update you guys. No problem. Just to get some people on and see where it's going. But we didn't get none of our other regulars on in the chat this week, this show. But that's okay, guys. We made it through. It's been a long. It's been a long show, long, tiring week, long, tiring day, long, tiring everything. And I am going to play some send-off music. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Gino Bravo, Sandy, Dallas Winston, TDS, Rip Torn, Alberta Mancan. Who else we got here? Winnie Pooh. Bebop Lady's here tonight. Woo! Big Rock, New Zealand. We got 2 coffees tonight. Thank you, Winnie Pooh, for the coffee. And thank you, 3345. 3345 for the coffee tonight. 2 coffees tonight on Mike of the Night. Alberta Man can. Good night. Mike Martin's here, signing off for episode 609 of Mike of the Night. Take care, and if you can't take care, stay safe. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken.